Today's episode is brought to you by our good friend and sponsor Brian Miller over at United Real Estate Chicago, the only realtor Mike and I trust when buying or selling a home. Links are in the description below.
Are you thinking about buying or selling a home? Or maybe you just have questions about the real estate market. Hi, I'm Brian Miller, and I'm a licensed real estate professional serving the Chicagoland area. People know to call me when they need a problem solved. Through research, troubleshooting, and asking the right questions, there isn't an issue that we can't overcome together. If you're buying, I'll help you find the home that fits your wants and needs. If you're ready to sell, my goal is to get your home in front of the masses and do everything it takes to net you the most money. Since entering the industry in 2014, I've experienced navigating various types of markets, as well as assisting clients with short sales, probates, and selling homes that have been sitting on the market. In other words, if you want to work with an award-winning real estate agent, make the process as easy and stress-free as possible, you've come to the right place. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Brian Miller, and I can't wait to connect with you.
Hey, welcome to IMO in my opinion with J&M. Jonathan, let me unmute you before you yell at me about
Appreciate it.
How you doing, buddy?
I feel like shit right now.
Why?
It's all your fault.
Why? How is it my fault?
Because of that whole Thanksgiving thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
You didn't
had-
invite me to your
I
Thanksgiving.
had Thanksgiving at my house, and people were asking me, "Where's Michael?" I said, "This is a family function thing. We're not attached to the hip.
Apparently
He's a
I'm not.
friend. He's not."
Wow.
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 I mean,
wow. Damn.
Damn.
He's
full time.
he's a
Jeez.
very, very good friend, but
Wow.
he's not like a.
Wow.
Let's just put it this way: he's family, not blood related.
Can definitely smell shite.
No, that's true. You're not blood related.
I am probably closer to you than half of your family.
I know.
We're more than blood.
That's why sometimes friends are more important than family.
And yet you still didn't
But-
invite me to your
So
Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm like,
That's great.
dude, no,
Awesome.
he's not coming. He's not here. He's
not like
coming.
family?
Oh,
He's not-
my goodness.
I'm
No,
sorry, but
so- go ahead.
and then you made me feel bad because you said you didn't do anything for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I did absolutely nothing.
But I thought you had
You
plans.
guys are like a married couple.
Who doesn't
Yes,
have?
we are.
No, we're not, because he doesn't come to my house for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
I mean,
Man, you're a terrible dude.
Sorry.
No, this was the first year that I actually, well, me, my sister, and my mother, we actually didn't do anything. Like, we didn't go to our aunt's house or any of that nature. We literally stayed home. We ordered macaroni and cheese, and she cooked. It was not Thanksgiving, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with it. You don't understand, John. I was at home with my aunt, my cousin, two of my cousins, and I think another person that was traveling with them. I forget her name. And they were staying at my house.
wow.
So I had enough family
Okay.
for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like the whole Puerto Rican thing. Forget it. It's just a freaking mess. It's loud.
Like, this is too much.
Yeah, it's really loud. I'm going to say that it's really loud
It's really loud.
in the house, and a lot of arguing and a lot of this, a lot of that. So, you know what? I had my Thanksgiving before Thanksgiving.
All right.
But we have a guest. Excuse me, Jesus, no more beer before podcast. We have a guest. She was actually here, present in the room for a prior podcast, but she's on camera with us today. I will let her introduce herself.
Yeah. Well, my name's Alyssa Taylor. I'm an actor. I live here in Chicago. I've been here for about 10 years now, and I grew up in Boulder, Colorado, and Miami. So now I've been here, and it's like my home. And
What's the area code of Miami?
what's the area code?
I feel like everybody says, what is it? It's like it's 80
Oh.
something. No, is it 80 something?
Man, I'm like blanking right now.
Oh my
I
God.
like know this.
It's
I'm
not a-
thinking
it's not a-
303 Colorado. That's
But
Colorado.
it's not a good thing. Let me say
No,
that.
oh,
it's
it's
usually
not.
the Miami thing because everyone has an image of what Miami's like.
Yeah.
right.
Right. I mean, it's like a party city. It's like where you go, like we're out of the age range to go to Miami. Me and John. I would say. I think it's a younger person's
It's
town.
coming. Retirees
Yeah.
and
That's
party
Clearwater,
people.
Florida.
Oh,
We belong in
It's all
Clearwater.
the same to me.
I love Florida. It's so nice.
Do
I
you?
mean, it was my early childhood, so I wasn't like partying it up. I was like 2.5 to 6.5 when I lived there.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not
you're a
a
kid.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm not
that's-
out in the club
You
or
were still
anything.
watching Nickelodeon and
Yeah,
stuff like that, you know, or
literally.
SpongeBob. I mean, you're a younger Missy, so
Yes, I am.
so you're an actress, correct?
Yes.
Are you stage, film? What are you into? What do you prefer?
Yeah, so I mean, I love acting in general, but I did go to school for acting. I got a degree at Columbia College Chicago, and it was in theater. But I do prefer film work just because I've always been drawn to that. And I do love, it's just very different acting as well. And I've always loved film work. I am signed with Dream Team Talent Agency. Shout out to Dream Team. So I'm really grateful to be a part of that as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How many dream teamers have we had on this show?
A lot. There's a
lot
lot
of
of
dream
them.
teamers.
There is a lot.
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
That is one big team.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
So what have you been in?
Yeah, so I mean, when I was growing up, I did theater in school and stuff, and then in high school, I was like, I sing too, so I was more focusing on that. And I moved here in the middle of high school from Colorado, and I was more focusing on singing and music at that point. But by the time I graduated here in Chicago, I started to do background work. So I did do background work on Chicago Fire, Shameless, and Empire, and I did end up landing myself like a featured background role on Shameless as like Carl's hot tub girl in season 8.
Hot Tub Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see. I
Yeah.
see.
Right?
So what? I mean, I can't even imagine. What did the fitting go for that?
So it's
Like,
funny.
do they make you try out a bunch of like bathing suits kind of shit? Is that how this works?
Yeah, because I had like a fitting, and I'm gonna be real. None of those tops fit me. And I was like 18.
Too big, too small?
Too small.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like,
They're just taking advantage of
I
shit.
had that.
yeah.
What's going
I was
on?
like,
I have that same problem.
Oh, yeah,
I know
he
it's a
wears-
hard time, right,
He
John?
wears. He's a
I'm a
big
solid
cup.
B cup.
He's a big cup there.
Hey, it's a good cup size, you know? But yeah, so it was like too small. And so I actually brought my own swimsuit. I was like, I understand this is like Shameless, but I just had turned 18. And so they were really like respectful and professional. And they're like, oh yeah. And I brought it was a bikini top, but it just covered my boobs more, you know?
I would hope they would be.
Why wouldn't they
professional.
Yes.
just start with that? Bring your
Right.
own bikini.
Usually they do,
Doesn't even
especially
make
for
sense.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a color. It's a color palette thing.
Yeah.
So like they want to go with colors that are neutral for one, obviously, and then whatever matches the scene.
Obviously, to who?
yeah.
To the
You're
scene.
talking to a novice over here.
No, what do you mean?
Like a
I-
beginner,
I-
right?
yeah.
Or like a,
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
don't know
a
what you're talking
familiar.
about.
But the show's not a beginner. The show is a professional thing. So like they have to go according to their palette, right? Whatever colors they're using that they want to use or whatever, they kind of have to match with that. So like they can't just give it up to you and you come in with a bright ass red shirt
Yeah.
and they're trying to go dark. It just
right.
doesn't
Yeah.
work. Or you wear a yellow ass shirt and they're trying to do a dark mood scene. It doesn't work. So like
Yeah.
they would just rather just fit you with something. You know?
Yeah, I did bring my own like shorts because I was grateful. Like I had a couple good scenes. Like I was
You
in
were a
like
hot
2
tub
different.
girl?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was like 4 of us, and like continuity. Like first shot. Like once it's there, you're done. Like
Right.
they're shooting it like that. So I made sure. Little Lissa, I was like, I'm going in the front, and like right away, I just stood in the front of the girls, and I went in and I did my wave, and then they stuck with it, and I was like. Sweet, like because you gotta, you have your chance.
Yeah.
Like this is my moment. I'm like being like all about me, I'm like not
You
with the
should
scene.
be.
Yeah,
But I was
fuck
just like I was so
yeah.
excited. It was my first thing, and it was just such an amazing experience. So I'm grateful it happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank you.
I know a lot of people have things against doing background work and all
Yeah.
that stuff, but I mean, if you want to see what it's like and you kind of want to get an experience, that's the easiest
It's
way
the
to do
perfect way,
Yeah.
like to get experience, to just get yourself out there, to get familiar with how a set works.
it. Right.
And also, you never know the opportunity because even if your background, they could call you and be like, hey, actually, can you say this line?
Sure.
Or you're
yeah.
meeting the people there. Like they'll maybe think of you for your next project. Like just being there and showing up will
Right.
get you places that you didn't think you
Right.
would go to.
I would just argue that the only thing I would tell people is that don't expect much from it.
Yeah.
Right. Use it as a learning tool
Yeah.
and not an expectation. Now don't put expectations to it because like I've seen people that'll get BG roles. And again, I understand that people like this whole fake it till you make it thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am fine. You do you, right? But it almost feels disingenuous. at the end, because the payoff isn't what you thought it was going to be. You know, so you sell it like, oh, I booked this role, I booked this role, I booked this role. And then when you post about it, it's like, you know, if you look really, really hard, you can see me there.
You got
That was me in Chicago Fire. You could just like see the back of my head. I'm like, I killed my
but that's okay.
Yeah,
But
and
that's
that's
okay.
fine.
But
Yeah.
I think it's more genuine even better for yourself is to be honest with what it is. There's nothing wrong. First of all,
it's nothing wrong.
even if you get a background role, it's something that a lot of people don't get or can't do or don't want to do or don't have the balls to do it or whatever the fuck. So fuck it. You get a background, you get BG, do the fucking thing. Be happy that you got it. Like I did BG for PD like twice, maybe.
That's
maybe.
awesome. I'm watching PD right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like from the beginning?
Yeah. So what season are you on?
I am in season, as background, I'm in season 6 or 7. As a cast member, I'm in season 7.
Yes.
I think.
Papa.
No, but so it's a freaking 2-line thing.
But that's
It's not a big
amazing.
deal.
Anything is like you said with the
Correct,
background, like
correct.
it's amazing.
But I always look at these things like, I try to be very realistic.
Right.
I consider myself a very logical thinker, and I know that I'm green. I know that I'm not going to get 10 pages of fucking lyrics for the episode. I know I'm not the main cast, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's steps to everything. You know, take what you get, try to make the best you can out of it, move on. You keep going. You get better. You get better. You get better. But just, I don't know. I'm not the guy to freaking overshoot myself. Like, I don't even like calling myself an actor.
Well,
you know?
yeah.
Even though I am, but
Come on, you're an actor.
yes, I am. But John, do you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're
You
saying
know
though
me
with the
pretty well.
background, like
yeah.
because I did it only a handful of times because to me I was like I don't want to become a background actor. There's nothing wrong with that at all, but like I want to be an actor as like a career and like I want to grow and have speaking lines and like be able to do characters and stuff. Like I want to do more on a set.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you turn down auditions? Or do you do all of them?
I do all of them.
Why?
Because, well, I have only had an agent since April of this year.
Okay.
And I got signed with Dream Team. And I mean, we've been in a strike for the past 7 months. We just got lifted.
Okay, so you've only been for 1 year and 7 months?
Like
okay.
I've probably had like maybe 20 to 30 auditions since then. And it was like commercial work, like print work, non-union just because of the strike and stuff.
Okay, so you're in a different situation.
Yeah. So like for me, I've been like, I'm doing, but like if Vilma, like my agent sends me an audition, like I'm going to do it because she did the work to get that audition for me. And it's an opportunity and it's an amazing experience.
Do you feel that you should be able to say no?
Yes. I mean, you definitely can. And she's, made that a point because, if something doesn't go with like morals or your schedule or something, like if you really don't want to do it, then, you don't want to do it.
So like this obviously we were on strike for a while.
Right.
And I got some auditions for commercials and stuff like that. And I said no to a lot of commercials only because I didn't get into the business to be in commercials. I did it because I wanted to be an actor. Right. I also say no, even before we were on strike, I would say no to a few things because I feel, yes, I'm a beginner, but I feel like you kind of have to establish what kind of actor you are. Yeah. Right. And I don't want to be like, I'm not a big fan of comedies, me personally. Like, I don't feel like I fit in a comedy. That's just me. I feel I fit better in like dramas and stuff like that. So I would turn down those things. Now, I guess my question is, what do you see yourself playing?
My favorite, like my dream that I see myself, like I like drama, I think more too. Like I would definitely do comedy as well, but my dream role is like a detective kind of role, like crime, like drama, like
so that's what you
TV
feel comfortable
show.
playing.
Yeah, like I would love. My dream is to be like on a show and like have a character that's on for many seasons.
That'd be awesome. You know how much money that is?
No idea.
John, what kind of character do you play?
Man, I am
the
built
expert actor
for
over here.
An action role, for sure.
I could see it.
No, that was a joke.
Oh, okay, damn. I was trying to give you some. I was trying to support.
I see him in a comedy flick, but only
That's
because he's
what?
like the.
I would totally see you in comedy.
But you would be like the George Costanza kind of character. Like he's funny because he looks awkward. He has he doesn't fit with the rest of them in a way.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
There's nothing wrong with that. George Costanza, the actor,
But he's just
what's his
like
name?
funny. John's funny.
What's his name? Alexander.
Jason
Alexander. He's the fucking successful actor. What's
No,
so bad
good.
about it?
Yes, he's really good.
I mean,
Yeah, that's not me.
okay, whatever. I tried, bro. I tried.
I tried.
I mean,
fucking
if we're
tried.
talking about if I was an actor and if I was 6 inches taller
Has nothing to do
and
with your
if I
fucking
was
height,
in
bro.
shape,
Has nothing to do with
I'd
your height.
love to play like a superhero for sure.
Who the hell would you play? The Thing.
Okay, I'll
Dude.
take it.
Hey, the
I
Thing. He's a
will-
muscular guy. Why not? You could probably play The Thing.
I think with acting too, it's like you bring to the table like who you are and like yourself. Like no one looks like you, no one acts like you. Like I think being yourself and just like who you are. Like you're saying like, oh, I need to be taller. It's like no, like just show up as you are because they're gonna look for someone like you. You know, like there's roles meant for you out there.
Let me tell you, first of all, you don't want to be that tall because there's not a lot of tall
Well,
actors.
bam.
There's not a lot of tall actors.
I've got-
Okay.
Yeah, they actually feel like most are short.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
mostly short. So that means who gets disqualified for most roles? Me, because I'm probably taller than most
Yeah.
of the main actors.
Mm-hmm.
So there's usually a give and a take when it comes to height. I think I would rather be your height in an actor than my height in an
Yeah.
actor.
All right.
Like the dive I did with Alyssa for the web series, The Dive. I loved being on it. I was a character named Liz.
You
And,
did
like-
2 episodes. I saw you in another one.
Yeah,
The
I
one
did
Amaria's
too.
in, I think.
Yeah.
No, not Amaria. Is it Amaria?
Yeah. Or
Or
no, Amari
Shanna.
was in
Shanna's
the
in
week
that one.
before. Yeah.
Shanna's in the other
Mhm.
one. Yes.
And what was I about to say? What were we just saying?
You were saying
You were in a show.
were
Oh,
in the
being
dive.
the height. So when we did the dive, like I brought like these huge heels, and then I show up and I'm like literally like a tower next to Alyssa, and then Danny, the other guy, was
Oh,
with us.
Alyssa, yeah,
So I
she's-
took off
So,
the
Imagine
heels.
if I had a scene with Alyssa. She would look like my daughter.
like
No, literally.
yeah,
And like this is
like
ridiculous.
a dating scene.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
The other Alyssa, we're saying,
Yeah,
because
the
I'm
other
5'8".
You're
I'm
definitely
5'8".
taller.
And
Yeah.
she's
5
She's like
foot.
5 somewhere.
She's
yeah.
pretty short. And there's nothing wrong with being short. Nothing wrong with being short.
Yeah, but it's a good thing. It's like, take advantage of who you are and like you can use that because they'll be looking for something
Agreed.
like that. So
So what's something that you struggle with in acting?
something I struggle with acting. You mean like the business or just acting in general, like in a scene?
Acting in general. Not no
Acting.
business, not the business part.
Okay, acting. I would say for me is like I've gotten better at it over the years, but I'd say relaxing even in that first line. Because for me, like I love acting and I get so excited that like sometimes like my body like shakes a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It
I
does
get
that.
so
It does
excited.
those things.
Yeah, so like I've had to learn how to like ground myself better and like really just be grounded in that first line. Like don't wait a line till I get comfortable, So I think that's been the struggle for me because I get so excited and like I have like so many thoughts in my head. So I think calming my mind and like fully clearing it to like embrace like the moment, like being present. But I think I've done better over the years, just like with me and like with acting. So
I think that just comes. I mean, that'll calm
Comes
down.
naturally,
That'll
yeah.
calm down with more repetition.
Yeah.
Like anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure. John, were you nervous the first time we did a podcast?
Oh yeah, and it was just us two, and
I mean,
no video.
Now it's like whatever. We just
Yeah,
fucking
I
sit
don't
here.
know.
yeah, at the
know,
beginning you left the
everyone-
room and I was like, I'm so excited. Aren't you, John? And he's like, yeah, not really. I was like, yeah, it's another Friday for you. I get
I
it.
mean, we do this all the time,
Yeah, right.
But
I'm
I
like,
mean,
I'm
when,
so excited.
when you're an active actor, if you're working a lot, obviously you get more comfortable.
Yeah.
Being in front of the camera, that doesn't affect you as much. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Even like, I mean, I can feel what you were saying because like, I remember being on the couple shows that I've been on, and like, that first take for me is like, but once it's over, I'm like, whew,
yeah.
okay, I got through it. I got the rest. I'm good now. The first
Right.
one is always the killer for me, but I'm in the same boat you are. Like, I'm relatively green, so it's like any new experience feels like a brand new fucking experience because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
It's like
But
driving a car
exciting.
for the first time. It's fucking exciting. Now you
Yeah.
drive a car, it's like, damn, I gotta go to work again. Oh, a bitch. So nerves, that's your biggest thing.
I'd say it's like exciting nerves. Like I've definitely gotten better over the years. I'm more grounded now, but I think it's just like clearing my mind and like, yeah, just like that first like line. I'm like when I did the second episode of The Dive, like I think we took like
Because you were like
2 shots.
You were like a crazy
Yeah,
ex-girlfriend or
such
some
a-
shit, right?
Such a bitch. Well, the first episode that Alyssa and I were on, Liz, like we go to the bar, and then I end up leaving her. We all get drunk, and I end up leaving her with the guy. And then and she's underage. I wasn't.
Right.
And we were like, had like fake
Horrible
IDs.
Friend. You're a
I know.
horrible
I'm like,
friend.
Alyssa, I'm so sorry I'm leaving you.
Jeez,
I
Louise.
know. I felt it's like weird playing those characters, you know, that like aren't yourself, because you're like, I would never do this. But then it's like you kind of play with it.
That in the, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I've
John,
totally
turn
done
on
that all
that
the
blue
time.
light for me. I'm sorry. I'll turn it on in a second. The one above you. I forgot to turn it on again. At least I remembered this time.
Hey, it's
Last
all
time we
good.
went through an entire episode without having that light on.
Hey, that's good.
I'll get it in a second.
No, you're good.
So you did the dive, right? Who does that?
So Michael G. Flores.
Okay,
He's
tell us more about that. Tell me about your experience there as I go turn on this light.
Yeah, no, you're good. Well, Michael, he's amazing. He's a director, writer, producer.
Just so we're clear, we're not
photographer.
talking about this Michael, right? No. Okay, all right. He's
like, let me clarify. But he does a lot. He does a lot of amazing things, and so he started this web series called The Dive, and I was on episode 4. It's like about a bar called The Dive, and you know, there's the main bartender. His name's Austin, and the character is Jason, though. And they just do different scenes of people, you know, coming into the bar.
Yeah.
So I love the show. So when he posted on YouTube and stuff. So when he asked me to be in it with Alyssa, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And so I did that episode with her. I was such a bitch, that character. But it was so fun to do, like, be on set all together. And then like a month ago, I filmed the second episode, like episode 8. So it was a couple episodes later, and it's like they're trying to hire another bartender. Yeah. And so I come in last, and he's like, seriously? And I like throw the paper in his face. I'm all dramatic and stuff. But
you were like an ex-girlfriend or something, or someone who he kicked out.
Yeah.
You were an old bar patron, and you got kicked out or whatever. And he's like, oh, didn't I kick you out like a week ago or some shit? Or whatever. Yeah, I remember. I watched it.
It was fun doing that, though, because I like threw the paper in his face, and I like drank his drink. I like thought of all these things, like what would I like not do, you know? And so it was fun to play with that.
So how much liberty did they give you? Like, how much of it was improv? How much of it was blocked? What would you say?
I mean, I really love working with Michael, because I feel like he just lets you like be in the moment, free flow, you know, like just embrace your character. He loves to see people bring what they want to bring for the character. So for me, like, we had the lines, but I like improv'd, you know, the coffee, like drinking his coffee and throwing the paper in his face.
That was flat out.
That was just in the
Improv.
moment, improv. And I was like, and I did it, and I'm like, how did you like that? And he's like, no, that's good. Like, you know, keep doing that. And then I also added the line, like, I don't even want to fucking work here. Because I was like, let me spice, you know, spice this up. I was like, let me be sassy and crazy.
Got to throw in a fucking F-bomb somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, I had to.
That's cool.
Fun.
I will say I'm impressed by the quality of those episodes. I think they look pretty good.
Great shots,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, why is it always Dream Team characters or Dream Team actors? Is he involved with Dream Team like most of the people?
He's in Dream Team, and then I think Dream Team cast it as well.
Okay,
like, so because they're really connected, Film and him. So I'm grateful I got to meet him. I like connected with them with Mike like at the strike. We went to a strike in the summer, and I got to connect with them after. We like went and got tacos and talked about everything, and I'm grateful I got to connect with him then.
How do you feel about the strike being over?
I am relieved. I'm very happy that they finally were able to get what people deserve, like everything.
I'm going to stop you right there because I noticed something recently because I started seeing. So like for the background stuff for like Chicago PD, it's by this company called Extra Casting. I think it's on Facebook or whatever. So everything was about money when it came to the strike, right? Mm-hmm. Do you get those emails still for like background work? Or did you stop?
I stopped that a couple years ago. Okay. With the background.
I don't do it, but I just get the email,
you get
right?
the emails.
So I see what they're looking for. I feel like the price went down.
Wait, it went down since the strike?
Yes, like when you remember you doing background you did Chicago PDs?
Chicago Fire.
And
Empire and Shameless.
Do you remember how much you got paid roughly? Like just for the shoot. Like when you know how it comes out on the advertising, it says whatever per 8 hours and this much for fitting, this much for COVID testing, whatever, blah, blah. You remember that?
I honestly don't because it was in like 2017, 2018.
Okay.
So I can't remember.
Okay. So like I kind of semi-remember. I remember it being like in the $175 range for 8 hours.
For like background. I got more for Shameless, but the other shows that was like that.
It's $125 now for 8 hours. So
well, this wasn't for background, right?
It was for everyone.
the actors.
No, it was for everyone. Yes, I understand that they're not part of the union. I get it. But this is what I was arguing with one of my coworkers with. Because we were arguing about, well, what are we trying to get out of this as part of the union, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's really benefiting here, right? Because we can say the middle portion of SAG is benefiting, but we're also got to remember that the upper class is also getting a hell of a boost at this point too. Because if we get a boost, they get a boost, right? So it's not coming. Who's losing money? Who's going to give up money when you think about it? Is it going to be the production? Is it going to be the actors? Is it going to be the writers? Who's losing? Where did the money come from? And I'm like, man, I just saw the background prices go down, and I'm like,
maybe them.
And that's crazy you say that, because that was part of the contracts that they're doing, is like, you know, more rights and pay for background work and stuff. And
I don't know.
I mean, the corporations who, you know, the big shows and stuff, like they get so much money and only a little % goes to like the artists. And so it's like they can give a little bit more.
Now, here's my question. And I'm not trying to defend companies, but sometimes I feel like I guess I do in a way.
You're a company man.
I'm not a company man.
Yeah,
Listen,
you are.
Here's the thing. Do we as individuals really understand what it takes to put on a production?
Well, yeah, I understand it's a lot of money.
Okay.
It's a ton of money.
So it's a lot of money someone invested in a project.
Right.
And their goal and their hope is to make that money back and then some, right? Because everyone is in this business to profit. Everyone is, right? We don't do anything for free. We do it to get paid so we can make money, right? So it's hard to say like, damn, the production makes too much money, right? But we also don't know what the bills are for that production. Yeah. We assume we know because we look at how much money they have, but we got to understand, like what we pay for light in our apartments and our houses, multiply that by how many times would you say, John, would be a film production paying a power bill?
So
you get what I'm saying? So it's like
so much money.
I agree with you. Yeah. Everyone should make a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Right. But then remember what we're asking. We're asking for production companies to lose money from their profit. It would be like them asking you or me, you know what? It's unfair. We want you to lose money from your profit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, that's where they have to be like fully transparent. But I don't think a company is going to show you exactly how much profit they're going to make.
I don't think anybody does that. We don't show how much profit we make.
Then it becomes no fair.
I agree. I just feel like we constantly look at companies and we say they're bad. But I think it's wrong to look at it that way, because at the same time, they have bills to pay like we do. We have no idea what it's like to run a company. We just assume, well, it's Walmart. They have millions of dollars. Can you imagine what Walmart's property tax bill must be? Or how much it costs for them to power these buildings, or paying gasoline for trucks or whatever. That shit's not free.
Yeah.
Nothing's free.
I agree with that.
But then we want to say everyone that works at Walmart should make $27 an hour. Where's the money going to come from? Because everything costs money. Again, I'm not trying to defend them. I look at it rationally.
Yeah,
no, money's got to come from somewhere.
It's
not going to appear from just. It's not going to manifest. We'll get there.
We'll get there later. We got a topic coming.
We're easing in. Okay, enough about business. One of the topics I wrote down, because obviously you and Alyssa are good friends, and Alyssa has her podcast, and she's very Gen Z-ish. What do you think the biggest difference? What are the differences between Gen Zs and Gen Ys or millennials that we are? What would you say?
Verbiage.
That's a big one.
I feel like, because I don't know, I'm born in 1998, so I feel like I'm just hitting the like millennial Gen Z.
She's right outside of millennial.
Yeah.
You just missed the cut.
I like just
no, that's not
I
true.
feel like I'm like right in the middle. Like I don't know what I am.
Is it 99?
I consider myself a millennial though, but I don't know.
Hold on. Let's see.
Let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
I think
99 is
just missed the cut.
No, I think
of
she
the
might be
greatest generation of all time.
You're overshooting a bit, but
what?
I would say she just made the cut.
Okay, let's see if I made the cut, guys.
Keep talking though. Keep talking about that for a second.
What was the question again?
What's the differences between Gen Zs and millennials?
I would say Gen Z and millennials specifically. I feel like we more will stand our ground and stuff, and like what we want to do.
All right, you missed it.
Oh, that's 100.
Right?
I told you,
right? It's kind of like that, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
So millennials are born between 1981 and 1996. So you are
Really?
a Gen Z.
Just missed it.
Yeah,
Am
you are
I?
a Gen Z.
My
Yeah,
whole
so
life
Gen
I
Z
thought it was a millennial.
It's not a bad thing.
I mean, if you want to be part
I'm
of
like
the
offended.
better crew, I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just
So
kidding.
what would you say is a really big thing that's different between?
She said they stand their ground more.
Like speak their mind. We're not afraid to like, I feel like speak our
Definitely.
mind, and especially with like how we grow up in social media and stuff. And I don't know, it's just like a whole different generation. I feel like we're kind of changing things, if that makes sense. Like we're not afraid to stand our ground and say, you know what, we deserve more, and like we want to do this, we want to do that.
John, you look like
I don't know. Like, am I explaining that right?
You're holding something in there.
No,
What are you-
she's kind of right.
Right? I mean, when you like, especially Gen Z, like the super young Gen Z, like
Yeah.
I feel like they're very like, I'm not, they just, I mean, I see even like with just all the strikes and stuff, like all across the board, different things, like they really stand up for what they believe in. So I look up to that, and I think it's really changing shit in our world, society, generations. So does that make sense?
Yes, but I'll tell you the difference between how we would stand up. So you guys, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just
Yeah, no,
guys
because
as
you
Gen
guys
Zs.
stand up. I'm not saying that.
You guys-
I didn't know how to explain it. Like,
you guys
I get what
as Gen
Yeah.
Zs. You guys as Gen Zs. I think social media gave you guys a sense of security when you guys are speaking, because, and I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying
No, that makes
how I
sense.
think. So like, you know how it's easier to text someone than it is to talk to someone,
yes.
right? John,
Yeah.
you look
Yeah,
you
sure.
drunk?
No.
Listen, so like, it's easier to flirt with someone. John, you're an expert. It's easier to
Oh,
flirt with
yeah.
someone through a computer than it is to flirt with someone in real life, right? So you guys, since you guys were brought up, with this tech, right? You guys don't know what it was like prior to this tech,
Right.
for to an extent. You guys have grown a sense of confidence because you're behind a screen. You have the protection of the screen. Yes, you guys translate it into real life in a way, because you guys protest more and this and this and that. But I think the protection of the screen has freed your guys' verbiage per se.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I agree with that. I mean,
Versus-
people aren't afraid to say stuff behind a screen.
Right. So versus us, we didn't have this. So like, we kept stuff more to ourselves. But I will say, we learned, and again, don't take this offensively, but we learned how to stand up to people or to whatever we needed in a more, the only word I could think of is like more of a professional way, versus how you guys go about things. You guys go about it with no filter whatsoever, because of the fact that that's how, we live in America and we have freedom of speech and we can say whatever we want, which is true.
Yeah.
But I'm a believer of time and place,
Oh, for sure. though.
right? Like, I don't think the time to say I want a fucking raise is in your office with your boss when nothing's gone down. There's no
You
reason to
haven't
do
even
it.
done the work or something.
Right.
You haven't showed
There's a
up.
way to say that without having to go that route per se. What do you say, John?
Yeah, I
Did you
guess
zone
so,
out?
man. I freaking sometimes I say things on this podcast that I'm like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And it's like stuff that any Gen Z or Gen
you're
Gen
fine.
Z
You
would
did
say.
good.
But
You
no,
did
no,
good.
I don't know about that.
You did
Well,
great.
you mean
Like,
canceled.
Like
you mean
putting
cancel
every
culture.
thought on Facebook and social media, that's not my thing.
I don't like that either.
No.
So maybe you are a millennial.
Because I like, I have an
Millennial at
Instagram
heart.
and stuff, but I'm not like posting, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm like more private too. Like, I'm not posting my thoughts, my personal things. Like, no one knows shit. Okay. Like, I mean, I put my opinion out there and I'll share things that I feel, but I'm not posting like a million, talking so much on social media, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I would say another big difference between us and you guys would be, like, we were brought up a little more hands-on. Like, we learned things more hands-on than you guys. You guys learned things through videos. We learned through trial and error.
Yeah.
And that's
crazy.
that is a talent in itself, I would argue. That's why I'm not saying this. I honestly, sometimes I see Gen Z people and how they talk and how they act, and I'm like, God, we're fucked. We're
Why do you say that?
Because it's like,
Damn.
sometimes I'm like, no, because here's the thing. and again, you could feel free to disagree with me. This country, okay, let's go there. Let's go a little semi-political, little bit, not too much. Do you believe this is the best country in the world?
No.
No. Why?
I feel like there's a lot we need to work on. I think we've made a lot of progress, but there's a lot more we need to work on. And like just looking at little stuff like healthcare or like I'm going blank now, but like it's just different in other countries. You know what I mean? I'm grateful to live here. It is a great country and we have amazing things here, but I think every country has stuff that they need to work on, and America has a lot of things to work on. Have
you been to other countries?
Yes, I have.
What countries have you been to? Just out of curiosity.
I've been on 2 cruises with my family in Europe. I'm grateful I got to have that experience. When I was like in middle school kind of time, I went to Italy, England, Croatia, Turkey, kind of like in Greece. It was like all in that area. Denmark, Finland. Like I'm grateful I got to go on those cruises and like see the world at like a young age.
This is like a 2-month cruise or something?
No, it was literally like a week or it was like maybe 2 weeks, I think.
So you went to all those places in like 2 weeks?
I've been to Mexico. I've been to like the Caribbean area. And
I guess I forget
Central America.
Europe is small.
Yeah.
Europe is like the size of Texas. So you can.
Is it really?
Like, because every other day you'd be somewhere else.
You mean it like not? But Europe is the area that all these places are in, right? Yes, right. Because Europe isn't a country; it's a continent, right? Yeah. You're thinking of it. The reason I get what you're saying. You're saying it's almost like if Indiana was another country, if Michigan, Wisconsin. I don't know my state. Sorry.
Iowa.
It would be like if the entire United States wasn't a country. And
I'm
it was
saying
each individual
it's
state
drivable.
Was a country.
All that stuff is drivable.
Like every other day you were like at a different country, or every day. Like
if you drive in one direction over there, you'll cross like 5 different countries.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So it was easy, like on a cruise, as a family, you're just like hopping off and going on in a different place. And
right.
I'd love to go back though and like actually experience like those places.
So you didn't really
more.
Experience too much of it. You were there quick and like in and out basically.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm grateful my family, like they used, my parents use their money towards like traveling instead of like buying like, designer stuff or whatever. So like I'm grateful I got the opportunity to like travel, and we did like go to Mexico, some areas in the Caribbean and Central America. So I have had the opportunity to see like different parts of the world. I've been Puerto Rico, Jamaica, like, places like that too. And
Puerto Rico's not saying much.
Okay. I'm just saying, I'm like thinking of places that I've been. Yeah, I'm like, why you, no. But yeah, so I've like seen lots of different places of the world. Yeah.
Jonathan, what do you think? Do you think America is the greatest country in the world?
I'm not gonna lie, it's up there, but
yeah,
I think Japan is pretty cool.
That one, I didn't expect that one, but okay.
That was cool.
So, I mean, Japan has everything.
They do. They are really advanced over there.
Food, technology.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of fish and seafood and stuff like that, so I wouldn't do too well over there.
Me either. I hate seafood.
I go anywhere,
Colorado girl.
Anywhere there's cows.
She's raised on bison and cows.
Wherever there's cows, I'm going. I will bite the ass of a cow if I have to. That's how much I love beef.
Damn.
Go ahead.
I would have said Canada like Canada's 8 years ago.
But Trudeau's kind of out of his
mind. South Korea, but it's so different, man. They got like another type of work ethic over there. They work like 13 hours. Oh, you would hate that.
Me or you?
You.
Why would I hate 13 hours?
I would hate that, but you would really.
Why?
It's like a set.
Your job offers overtime, and you say, "Why would I want to work overtime? I'm not going to work overtime."
You're misrepresenting. You are misrepresenting what I'm trying to say.
No,
when I say I don't want to work overtime, that means I don't want to work over the time that I'm supposed to work. If I'm supposed to work 13 hours,
so if you don't want to work 8 hours, what's going to make you want to work 13? 14?
You're missing the point. If my job required me to show up for 13 hours, I would show up for 13 hours. I would not work for 13 hours and 1 minute, but I will work my 13 hours. I have no problem with that. My work ethic is solid, bro. Your work ethic is fucking weak, bro. Hold on, let me tell you something.
Hot in here. No, keep going. This is entertaining.
You're just like,
I'm like looking back and forth. I can't keep up.
How many jobs on your resume, John?
Huh?
How many jobs have you quit and dropped and not even told them you're quitting?
Those
and
are
just walk
second
away?
jobs that I didn't need.
How many though? How many would you say? What's the ballpark
There's
number?
several.
Several. So your work ethic is terrible because you
Several
take a job
dozen.
and don't even want to do it.
Yeah, but that's a second job. That's a job I
It's
don't
a disposable
need.
job?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
So,
Little side bitch job.
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, that's it.
I
right?
guess. I'm getting hot because my ears are
Yeah,
actually hurting.
damn.
This
I'm like
speaker.
going looking back and forth.
Speaking of a weak work ethic,
What? Oh, he's
not
looking at you.
you.
He's
Not
looking
you in
at
particular.
He's looking at your
But-
generation.
dude, nobody wants to work
I work.
anymore.
I work like every day. I'm
What
like
do you
such
mean-
a hard worker. I'm like I'm exhausted.
What do you mean by they don't want to work? Explain that.
I mean,
Let's go into detail.
okay, so
Please explain.
when I started working where I work, these were like prime jobs. Like there'd be a job opening, one job opening, maybe two, and there'd be a line of 200 people for like a seasonal job. And now they're trying to give the jobs away and they can't find anybody to fill them. So we end up with some 70-year-old guy to fucking work as a laborer, and that's fucking nuts. You got all these young kids running around. They don't want to do any. Well, I'm not saying
I'm
you.
25. I'm
Fired.
25.
I'm saying
I didn't really have like my phone till like freshman year of high school.
Okay.
Like, come on, guys, give me something. Like, I have 2 jobs.
I'm saying
What do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm an actor, but besides that, to pay my bills until, I can get to that point where I can survive on acting, I work at Burberry as a client advisor. So I'm in sales.
Burberry, the brand, isn't that a
Like the luxury brand, clothing, bags.
Why do I
shoes.
remember them from like perfumes and stuff? They had like a Burberry.
Yeah, they have perfumes.
everything.
I remember
and
that
colognes.
being like a big one at one point.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I get from Gen Zs, and not that I had the problem at work, but I've had these conversations. Work ethic is completely different when it comes to Gen Zs and Gen Ys and beyond us, right? Or behind us. I agree to an extent. I think nowadays we expect the job to cater to us as if the job needs us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's still the opposite. We need the job more than the job needs us. We are, and it's going to sound bad.
certain jobs.
Well, I think we need each other.
Sure. But there's always going to be one that's going to be, remember,
Yeah.
they're paying you, you're not paying them.
Right.
Right? So it's like, how do I explain this easily? The job, okay. The job in a way is more important than you. You are, if you look at, okay, let's look at Walmart, for example, because I worked there a long time ago. I am no more valuable than a light bulb in the store. Okay? Because I'm easily replaceable. I don't do anything special. I don't do anything necessarily unique per se, right? I was a stock boy. I just see how I changed that from fuck boy to stock boy. You see?
Fuck boy.
What? I empty trucks. Anybody can fucking empty trucks, right? So I am a disposable kind of person. I try to take as much advantage as I can from them, but in a way they don't necessarily need me, right?
That's true.
Today's world, it's like the job has to cater to them. And the one thing I noticed that I couldn't stand when it started was this at-home working shit. Like I want to work
worked at
remote.
home.
I want to work remote. Everything is I want to work remote. I want to work. We should work remote. No, you shouldn't fucking work remote. Unless your job is 100% on a computer and you serve no purpose in the building, I can agree. But even then, I would say the person who has to drive to work should get paid more.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Because that's not fair that I have to drive my ass to work every morning and then some people are still in their fucking pajamas working from home.
There are people.
Oh, that shit was so nice.
There are people.
Must have been
Oh,
nice.
wow.
It was my previous job. I had it for like a year. It was really nice.
You can
But I was
leave now.
working there I was working at home, and I was also working at Michael Kors as manager. So I was working 7 days a week for like from like April last year to like December, and then I was like, okay, I'm leaving as a manager at Michael Kors, and I just focused on the work at home. And then by this summer, I went to Burberry. But that work at home life was really nice. It's you wake up, you stay in your pajama. I would stay in my pajamas and my sweats. Why not?
You know what
No
pisses me
makeup.
off? The people at that were working from home at my job, they're collecting vacation time. They're collecting sick time, like just like everybody else. How are you collecting sick time? You're at home.
I worked through like having bronchitis earlier this year in like February.
Where? Working at the store?
No, when I was still working at home.
At home?
I didn't know. I thought I had like a cold, and then I got worse, and I was like, oh shit.
That must be
So you're
nice.
basically
you
saying-
can have fucking
I, like, work through
diarrhea
So you're saying
and still
Hold
work.
on.
You can do
So
anything.
you're saying,
That's funny.
would you
as hell.
say it would be better if you're working from home and you get sick, you can't use sick days? You have to work because you're at home anyways.
I had sick days with the company. I mean,
No.
who
What
I
I'm
was
saying
working
is,
with, yeah.
should you be allowed to call a sick day if you're already at home?
I mean, at that point when I had bronchitis, like I
You
was
get what I'm
working through
saying?
the whole
You
week,
better be
and
on
then
your
I was
fucking-
like so sick I couldn't even talk to customers. I was like, okay, I'm calling off.
Sure.
Yeah, like, but I worked even like 2 weeks ago. Like I got a cold and I worked for a couple of days with a mask, and I didn't want to be there, but we were so short staffed, and then I ended up totally losing my voice, which I've never had that happen in my life. So then I had to stay home for like 3 or 4 days till I got my voice back because I'm like, I can't even talk to clients at all. Like you gotta rest, take care of yourself. You know, you deserve a sick day even if you
No,
work from home.
that's a different mentality. No, we have to go to work and make money because we need to pay fucking bills. That's how we were brought up. Like we were brought up. Look, if you're sick, unless you're dying, mind you, we're Hispanic, right? Hispanic, we were brought up a little differently. Unless you're fucking dying, let me tell you a true story. A month and a week ago, I banged up my knee. I need surgery for this knee, right?
Really?
Yeah. So I twisted up my knee. I tore my meniscus pretty bad, and I got home from playing basketball that day.
Oh no!
And it took me because my garage wasn't built yet, so I had to park outside, and I had to walk from my car to my house, and it was like a half a block in the city. It took me 20 minutes to hobble my ass there.
Aww.
Okay. Now, in the morning, because I had to work the next day, I wake up in the morning. I'm in pain. I'm in somewhat pain, right? And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna try to go to work. So I get dressed. I hobble my ass back to my car. Another 20 fucking minutes. I'm in the car contemplating if I want to go to work. I text my boss. I have the text written out, and I'm like, fuck, I'm already in the car. I'm just gonna go. So I drove my ass all the way to work, and I drive a stick shift nonetheless. So even worse for the knee, right?
That's your fault.
I get to work. I'm there. Eventually, I left a little early because I had to go take x-rays or whatever. But like, you see, there's a difference in mentality. Like in my mentality, I was already up. I got to go to work. I need to make this check. Fuck the fact that my knee's banged up. Whatever. You know, I think today it's different.
Well, I agree with that mentality because that's how I am.
That's how you are?
I show up. I mean, I was working through being sick, but I think there's a point where you need to like sit your ass down and rest. Because like if I had done that for like maybe just a day or two, I don't think I would have lost my voice and got so sick for a whole week. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like I feel like our generation is doing a better job. Like, hey, like mental health and like take care of yourself and like rest. And I understand your point where it's like, okay, like show up. Like you should show up. Like this is your job. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you got to take care of yourself and rest at the end of the day. You can't push yourself to like killing yourself, you know, like with your knee and stuff. Like that's painful. My dad and mom actually just both had that surgery, and that's like really painful. And like for you to push yourself, you could have hurt yourself even more pushing yourself like that.
They don't make them like me anymore.
They don't.
Oh, they do.
They
Knock it
don't.
off.
Michael Jordan over here.
I'm telling you.
You just call him Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
No,
Remember he
it's not
played with
that.
something with his ankle, like
Yeah,
a
that-
twisted
that
broken
ain't-
ankle. or something.
He played with the flu.
That ain't
That's
no
the big
Michael
one.
I
Jordan.
thought he like
know.
twisted his ankle or
There's
something.
a big famous one that's like the flu game. So like he played
Yeah.
with the flu and he still won. Really, he played really
Shows
well.
up. I mean, I'll show up like that.
So another example that I'll give you. So a few years ago, we were heading to a show at Navy Pier, not Navy Pier, at the what's the place next to where
Don't
the
look at me,
where
I
the-
don't go anywhere.
where, the place next to where the Bears play. It's like a big thing where they do shows. Like the auto show was there.
Oh,
McCormick's Place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at McCormick Place, they had this show where my company goes and they present there. We went and I picked up one of the girls because she wanted to ride. And we're going, and again, we're talking about working remote. And she's like, the company should just, I'm like, look, you're not the company. You cannot make this choice for the company. If the company says we're not working remote, we're not working remote. You make a choice. You either want to work here or you don't want to work here. That's it. Literally, you want to work here or you don't.
Yeah.
That's your choice. You can't critique the company. You don't run the company. The company tells you what you have to do. You either can do it or not do it. That's up to you.
It's true. They're paying you. I agree with that.
But the mentality is so backwards. It's like they want to fight. Like I understand fighting for money is a good thing. You should get paid what you need to get paid. But when you're trying to fight for at-home work. Why?
Like the random shit you really don't need, but you just want because you want it.
Yeah, like that. The company doesn't need to cater to you.
I agree with that. I mean, working at home, I was just like, it was so nice. Like, I'd be working from my bed.
Did you start working from home from the get-go?
Well, no, I've had a ton of like.
No. I'm
other
talking about
jobs.
that particular job.
Oh,
So when
Well,
they
yes,
hired you to work at home.
yeah, because first I was with her like
That's
part
different.
time. Yeah,
That's
like I was
different.
hired as like work from home because her company's in New York.
Okay.
So I was like
Yeah.
working from home.
That's
still
different.
like that's different.
So from day
You're talking
one,
about like
you were
when
work-
they went from an office to like
Correct.
at home.
So
Okay.
like during COVID, a lot of people went to go work at home.
Yeah.
And then they were the ones bitching when they told them to come back. They're like, oh, but why should I have to come back? Because they're fucking telling you to. And
It's
if
your
you
job.
don't, and my only argument is the same. Like what I said earlier, like if you want to do it, fine, do it. But I better make more money than you because I have to drive my ass to work. And watch how quick people are going to turn around and start driving back to work when they start finding out that I make more money because I'm in the building.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good point though. Like you're driving your car, gas, miles. You're taking extra time too to have to leave to get there. Like
I run a
some
worse
days
risk.
I would wake up and I'm like, it was like 5 minutes before 9 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, like brush my teeth, like I'm get my coffee, I'm working. Like I would literally just get right in bed and start
Bro,
working.
they're
It was so nice.
so there's this lady that wasn't getting paid. She was she was full time at the time. So she's not getting her paychecks. So she calls this one lady that she's supposed to call, human resources or whatever. And the lady had the nerve to say, I'm sorry, I'll get back to you. I'm at the pool with my nephews. Meanwhile, this girl's not getting paid. And this girl's gallivanting around town fucking with her nephews and shit.
No
They're like
shit.
working
Like,
from home.
Yeah.
Do you know when I saw the weirdest thing? So my sister's a school teacher. She works for CPS. And they went remote for a while. And I remember they would have a lot of meetings during that time where all the teachers would be on screen and blah, blah, blah. And my sister would turn off her camera and I would go see, I'd watch and listen or whatever. And I would see some of these teachers and they're in pajamas teaching their students. And I'm like, what kind of fucking professional are you?
If I would show up and like.
It depends on what
it
you're
depends
doing.
what you're doing.
If you have to be, were you being seen?
No.
Okay.
Like
so you
I
can
was
wear whatever
doing
the fuck you want.
sales. Yeah. Like
You can wear whatever the fuck you
yeah.
want. If you're on screen and you're teaching the students, I'm not saying you should wear a suit and a dress, whatever, but
at least you're
be
top.
presentable.
Yeah.
Like
Be
my sister,
presentable.
I would see my sister every day. She looked like how she would go into her classroom.
Yeah.
Like when she was working at the school, and I'm like. And then I see one of her teacher mates or coworkers, and she's laying she's laying on a couch because the computer's like this, like the face is all like this, and her hands over here.
Spun.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I agree. That's not like
what the fuck's
professional.
wrong with
like show up,
And then I asked her, how old is this teacher? Oh, she's in her early 20s.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, su puta madre.
Puta
Like
madre.
this is ridiculous.
Puta madre.
Puta madre. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Like, and it's a change in mindset. And I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other, but I am.
Yeah.
In a way.
Hey, I feel like both generations, we all show up in our ways, but Gen Z, like we're still hard ass workers too. Like I know
John's
you guys.
laughing inside. I can see
yeah.
I
it.
mean,
in him.
I don't know.
I can see
I'm
it in
so
him.
focused. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like an old soul though. I really feel that for myself. I'm like such a homebody. Like I don't really go out much. Like I'm so focused on like work and like my goals and career and stuff. So I don't know. I might be different. But I don't know.
So you're
Obviously, there's outliers.
of course. Yeah, there's that.
But
So you're more of
But I feel like every generation loses a little bit.
what do you mean?
The generation before us, they were getting fucking peanuts and they're working like 12, 13 hours.
Yeah, I
but
feel
a
like
gallon of milk was
shit's
like
getting better.
50 cents though.
Shit. And
Yeah.
what's that country? She's chancellor for Sweden or something like that. She wants like a 4-day, 6-hour deal.
What?
Work week. Yeah.
4 days, 6
6
hours?
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
I would,
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't
would
be
see
getting
like
paid
4
shit.
days, like
10
9,
Let me
10
tell you
hours.
something.
You wouldn't make any money.
I would no. Same pay.
That's
Same pay.
impossible.
No,
That's
I think it is
impossible.
possible.
How?
Because really, I mean, how much
Sounds like
work do you
really-
do in a day?
True.
I'm pretty sure if you had to work 4 days a week for 6 hours, you'd work your ass off those
Yeah.
6 hours.
No, you do the same thing you do every day. What are you talking
You're
about?
probably right.
And so that
Sounds like
But-
we're doing the same shit.
Here's the thing.
It sounds really good.
We're thinking about what's beneficial to us. We're
Hell
not thinking
yeah.
correct. Now understand.
Yeah.
Understand though. You have to understand that if you're gonna think that way, the company is also gonna think that way.
Oh,
So
I mean,
if you're gonna work 4 days, 6 hours, they're going to pay you less.
Let me tell you something. They can't afford to get rid of me.
You are
the best.
Stop it.
I do
You're
have
the
to say,
best.
it's obvious money, like everything cost has gone up like triple.
Of course.
So,
But pay rate has gone up too, because if you think about it, when I started working, my first job, I was making like $6.15 an hour.
Big
isn't it
baller.
crazy?
I was making
Ballin'.
I thought I was killing the game.
I made 5.
You were making 5 when you started?
Yeah.
So I mean, let's think about it. I agree with you.
What the fuck? How do you live off that?
But mind you,
Well, I was living at home.
gasoline.
Shit.
But mind you, a gallon of gasoline was like $1.80 a gallon at the time. So this is the thing. I agree. Yes, everything has gotten more expensive, but minimum wage has somewhat adapted to that too. Because again, if you think about it, I'll give you an example. Again,
really.
I started at $6.15. Right, that gap between a gallon of milk and $6.15 is about the same.
Yeah.
About maybe it might be a little bit steeper now, but it's about the same if you just keep going through years.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think we'll ever see a day where this is like this.
No, not here.
Because if it was, you wouldn't have a
minimum
profit.
wage has gone up, but not the median wage.
Yeah, because
You know
like
what I'm
if we followed inflation, we would be at like I think 22 or 23 minimum wage.
But
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
here's the difference. The medium's hard to tell because the medium's based on property, like who lives where.
Yeah, it also goes up like even from Chicago to like the suburbs.
Right, but
too.
that has nothing to do with wages. That just has to do with gentrification or whatever. Like, I mean, if you think of Logan Square, used to be pretty affordable at one point. Now it's hell of expensive.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
even
saying? Or
when I
Humboldt
lived
Park
in
is
Hyde
expensive.
Park in Southside Chicago, I lived there, and now it's going up more too.
Right,
I
I
lived there
mean-
a couple years ago, and it's going up.
Wait,
It's like
where?
everywhere.
Hyde Park,
Hyde Park.
Oh, I thought you said
Southside.
Highland.
Highland Park, Highland Park.
It's all the way up.
That's a
there.
suburb though.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say medium. I guess I got you, but medium's hard because it's like that. Just a medium is just how much money is in that community. So like if
What
you
I'm
have-
saying is, I didn't go up when minimum wage went up. Minimum wage has caught up to me a little bit more.
What do you mean? Say it again. Say it one more time.
Minimum wage went up, right?
Uh-huh.
I did not go up. So
What do you mean by you didn't go up?
my
you mean in
pay
class?
did not go up? Class.
Oh, you mean your minimum? Oh, because you were above minimum wage.
Yeah. So they caught up to me a little bit.
I think that's
we
unfair.
did not. Yeah.
I think that's stupidly unfair. That's why I used to work for Walmart, and one of my first acting things that kind of sparked my curiosity in acting was I landed a national Walmart commercial.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I wasn't an actor. It wasn't even a thought. It
That's
was
so
just,
cool.
Right?
What'd you forget to pay?
Huh? Taxes. Nobody told me. Nobody
told the young man that he has to pay taxes on money that he makes.
You goofball. See, again, you misrepresent what happened. That's
Did you
not
pay
what
your
happened.
taxes?
No, you dumb truck.
There you go.
Listen.
So what happened?
Listen,
You didn't-
Otis. This is what happened.
He almost got Wesley sniped. He almost went to jail.
No, that's bullshit. It wasn't that much. I wasn't making R. Kelly money and then avoiding the tax man. Relax.
Okay.
Or Bad Bunny or all this shit. Listen, so what happened was I booked this commercial, and obviously you start getting curious about how much you're going to make. So I got paid for filming, and then I got residuals, which was different back then compared to now. So I made about like close to $65,000 in a commercial, right? Now, when they gave me this, I filled out
That's
a W.
pretty good. Damn.
What's the tax form you fill out? W-4 or W-2 when you start a job?
W-2.
W-2?
Yeah.
Okay,
W-4
so
is when you get your taxes back.
So I filled out a W-2 for everything I did, right? So in my mind, I assumed taxes were being pulled because
But not a 1099. You did a W-2 instead.
a W-2. I did a W-2. So in my opinion, I didn't know anything about the business. I was fucking a kid, right? I think I was like 22 years old when I did this. I filled out a
Not
W-2.
necessarily a kid.
I claimed
Like 3 years younger than me. Thanks.
I was at that age where I could make mistakes and it shouldn't be held against me. Sure, whatever. I filled out, I put how many dependents I don't have, blah, blah, blah. So I thought I was going to get my taxes pulled out, right? I just said that like my teeth were getting pulled out.
Yeah.
So then I start getting this money, right? And I'm getting checks. Now on the checks, it's saying federal and state. It's saying all of that shit, right? So I'm thinking I'm good, right? Then tax season comes and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get a lot of money back. I got all this money. I'm gonna get a big ass check during tax season. So my cousin was working at an H&R Block at the time. So I went, and she goes, "What the fuck did you do?" And I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? Tell me this big ass number of money I'm gonna get this year." And she goes, "No, you owe the government." I'm like, "How much?" She's like $5,000, and I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "I don't know. This is what they're reporting back." And I'm like, "Su puta madre," and then seriously, and I'm over here like, "What the fuck did I do wrong?" And then later on, I find out that when you're a contractor, regardless of what it is, you need to save. They'll basically give you your entire check. Yeah. And you have to pay taxes after the fact. I didn't know that.
That was confusing though. They had federal and state and shit on it.
I thought so too, but I should have thought something was up when the amount of the check was like in the thousands.
You're like, this is a little sus.
And it's like $5 in taxes.
You're like, this is too good to be true.
You know, maybe I should have.
Maybe they made a mistake.
Yeah, you know, they won't
maybe
remember.
They owe me more money.
They won't remember. Remember. They remember all that shit.
That's crazy. That's the worst when you think you're gonna get. That was me this year. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get money, and then I got fucked. I was like,
oh, I mean, you don't got kids. You always get fucked when you don't got kids. That's why
it's an incentive to have kids is to freaking
get knocked up.
That's basically. I mean, how much is it per kid, John?
It's a decent amount. I'm not gonna lie.
What's the number?
Can you tell us? We'd love to know.
It's like $3 a kid.
3,000 a kid. Soup.
Something like that.
You mean like 3,000 off? Or
no,
I mean 3,000 back.
Credit. It's a credit.
Yeah. It's a credit. Yeah.
Oh, look at her. She wants to have kids now.
I'm like, hold up. But kids are expensive. It's a lot more than 3,000.
Sure, I have
for
this
the year.
IUD on. Of course I do. What do you? Yeah, go ahead. $3,000.
Yeah, right.
Every fucking year for 18 years. That's insanity. That's not fair. I should get money back.
What do you mean that's not fair?
Yeah, like can we get a bonus?
Tax credit for not having fucking kids? We didn't get knocked up. Why are you making that? What do you mean no?
Why can't we get a little bonus? Like 1,000? I mean something like.
I agree.
I mean,
I'm inclined to agree with her.
You're still a kid. You should get 1,000.
Yeah, I'm like a kid. I'll take it. 22.
Know. What are you implying? Because I'm older, I should already have sprouted fruit and got tax money for it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you got nobody to spend the money on. So
myself.
Me?
What the fuck?
Like me?
I could get another microphone.
Yeah, I'm barely surviving out here on my own. I live in my apartment on my own. I'm barely having any extra money. It would be nice.
You're a bad man. You should give that money back.
How much is your rent? It's probably a lot.
$1,760.
Oh,
it just went up $100. So it was $1,660. Now I'm $1,760.
Damn.
Isn't that expensive? I rather work harder though to live on my own than have roommates.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to have roommates.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that, I know.
You can afford a house. I'm pretty sure you can afford.
I know.
Not anymore.
I'm pretty close to.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, actually, no. A mortgage is probably
anymore.
like.
What I mean, the problem with renting obviously is the fact that you're paying somebody else's rent.
Yeah.
Or somebody else's mortgage. That's the bad part.
When you times that by 12, you're like, oh shit.
And that's cold. So a cold apartment, meaning no gas, no.
Oh no, like
utilities,
I mean,
you gotta pay for everything separate.
It's a great apartment because like the apartment I had before in Hyde Park, like I didn't have a dishwasher, like I had laundry in the building but not in unit. I didn't have heat. I didn't have AC.
You didn't have heat?
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was a lie. I did have heat.
Why did you live there?
No, I did have heat, but I didn't have AC. But then this apartment that I'm at now, I have an in unit. I have a dishwasher. I have AC.
But do you pay your bill separate? Do you pay your electrical bill separate?
Yes.
Gas bill separate?
The gas, yes, gas and
So it's more than $1,700. It's a lot. It's a good amount over $1,700.
Well, it's $1,700 because they do like a package, like $120 for like water, heat, like all of that stuff, and then I pay just electricity actually separately.
Okay,
so ComEd, but that's like nothing.
Okay,
it's like
if I'm paying $1,700, I better have every fucking amenity.
I mean,
available.
I do. I mean, it's a nice place. You got a pool there. They have like a gym. They have a little movie theater. I mean,
listen, I went to go help Erica because she wants to write a script. And I passed by her apartment. Holy fucking crap. She lives like an up and coming actress. It pissed me off. Like she has so many amenities, it pisses me off. But then I'm also like, I mean, I have my own house. Right? So it's like,
I mean,
have
that's
your own
the
house
goal.
I'd rather have
or
my
have
own
amenities.
house.
That is the goal.
In the next few years.
Wait. I'm opposed to that. I'm gonna challenge that. I would rather at this point in my life, I think I would rather fucking have an apartment
that you rent from or Or you own?
That I rent from.
That you rent, yeah.
Because
I mean, it's
owning a
nice not
house-
having to do anything.
Not to mention, again, I've had bad experiences in the house. I've had some flooding and all that bullshit. I have what the young kids would say, trauma, that type of shit. What's the other one? I have anxiety from my house. My house flooded. That's
You got
fucking
PTSD
anxiety.
from your house?
My house is flooded twice.
The house
When
you
it
live in
rains-
now?
Yeah, when it rains, I have fucking
These
anxiety.
were like biblical floods.
Yeah, like
I have
Noah's
anxiety for you.
I mean,
oh my
I'm
gosh.
kidding. I don't have anxiety, but if I was to have anxiety,
do.
that would be the fucking anxiety
He
that I
had
have.
to swim for his life.
Like, no, stop. Fuck, you're crazy.
That's like owning a house. You have to,
Here's the thing.
pay
you
for
gotta
everything. You have to
do
take care of everything
stuff.
if something happens.
I was very lucky that both times I was there.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is to get that amount of water, and I am not there because it would have been double the amount of water.
That's so
Yeah,
scary.
your sister's in
Crazy.
charge. I don't know.
Bro, but nobody's there. Because look at Miliani gets home and she gets home from school 3:30-ish, 4 o'clock, 4:30, depending on traffic. I don't get home till 6. Okay, so imagine if the flood starts at noon. That's 3-4 hours of just water coming in with no one trying to pump it out.
Turds floating around
Ew.
your basement.
God, that's
Puta madre.
horrible.
It wasn't that bad though.
Okay.
Relax. Yeah, relax. People are not gonna come to my house anymore because they fucking think
I'm
it's fucking a shit house.
exaggerating.
Shit everywhere.
And not to mention, my part of the house is in the basement. So my computer's down there, my expensive stuff's down there, all this, my toys, stuff like that, all the real
This
good,
is-
important stuff. I would have cried.
I mean,
Really?
I know you. You.
I have
would've
anxiety
cried.
for you.
I mean, but it is what it is. We got to deal with it,
Yeah.
right? That's part of life. So that's why I say
Yeah.
I think I would rather rent. Like if me and my sister move apart, right? Because we live together and we own the house together. If we were to separate, and I think I would rent for a while. I would rent for a good maybe 5 years.
At least until the bubble pops.
Nah, I'm not worried about that. That's the least. Look, I was arguing this with a friend about money for houses, right? Because she was like, "Oh, I don't want to go look for another house right now because it's so expensive." I'm like, "What do you think is going to happen? It's not going to come down."
Sure it
We-
does. It
no,
always does.
No, we are never going to see the
Well,
rates that I got when I first bought that house.
Maybe
it's
not,
never going to happen.
Maybe not, but it'll get somewhat close to it. Dude, what happened in 2013? Houses were going for a shit ton. My mom's
in
flat.
2013. That's a long time ago, bro. We haven't seen anything drop like that since
It's
when
gonna
I bought mine.
happen. It's gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen, bro.
Sure
Life
it
is
is.
different. No, man, life is completely different
I
now, bro.
guarantee you.
Shit's fucked up.
It's
But let's have hope. Just kidding.
No, it's-
I think we have to be realistic.
Yeah.
Our numbers
Let's be
ever so
realistic.
look at my original loan for the house.
I hope one day
Do
to
you- I
have
mean,
hope.
I don't want to discourage you from buying a house, but keep that in mind. Keep all of this. in
No,
mind.
this is great.
So-
Please keep talking. I want to learn.
When I bought the house, when me and Milani bought the house, right? I think our percentage, our APR was 7%.
Damn.
7%. When we refinanced to fix the basement or whatever, it went from 7 to almost 20.
Holy shit. I'm going to stay in my apartment.
Is that the little percentage that they give you?
What do you mean? No,
My
that's
first
that's
house is
interest.
3.2.
Correct.
something.
When did you buy with this one or the other one? The first one?
Shit. That's low.
The
as-
first one.
The first one.
The first one. How much
Yeah.
you pay for this one?
More. I don't know how much more, but it was before everything got super.
So here's
fucked
my
up.
question. This is the question I asked my friend. I said, fine. In a way, I can kind of agree that yes, it might go down a hair or two or whatever. But how long are you going to sit and wait for something to happen and it may not happen? You're assuming that it might happen. It might not.
It has to happen.
How do you know that?
Cause not. Can you imagine my house going for $1 million? It's not going to keep on going up.
Why not?
Because it's not. Because people can't afford that. It's going to get to a point where nobody's going to be able to afford it, and people are going to stop buying houses, and the housing
But it's
market is going
expensive
to get
right
flooded.
now. But it's expensive right now to buy a house. And people are still buying houses.
Yeah, but it's going to get to
I feel like it's a lower
breaking
percentage of people
point.
buying though now, right? Would you say?
But
It's a
every-
lower percentage of people
It's
buying
got to
houses?
be.
No,
Nobody-
it might.
It's so expensive out here.
You're not going to buy a ranch for $400,000.
Well, it also depends on where you live,
Yeah, it
right?
depends.
Here in Chicago, unfortunately,
expensive.
This is
It's
not,
not gonna-
Chicago. This is
Hardwood Heights.
hey man.
No, what the Nobody knows.
It's
bro.
like, don't give it away, man.
You guys
That's why I didn't say my town. I didn't say my city.
Do you know how big of a city this is? No one's gonna know exactly where this house is.
Tell my coworker. You know what he did?
He stalked you.
Wait, stop. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Someone stalked you?
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm not going to say stalked.
Spill the tea, John. Spill the tea.
I told him kind of
God,
the
I haven't
vicinity.
heard anybody say that in a while.
What? Spill the tea?
Yeah.
Spill it.
I kind of told him the vicinity of where I live.
And he found out where you live.
I'm like Parnham and Foster. And he goes, oh, we kind of live close to each other. And then like a week later, he comes back and he goes, blah, blah Avenue, third house on the right hand
Third
side.
house? How did he know that
I
shit?
said, what the fuck? He saw my car in the driveway. So now he's probably hiding in my
was
bushes.
he driving by because he lives close, or he was trying to find your house?
No, I mean, my house is kind of isolated. If you drive into my block, it's because you wanted to drive into my block.
If someone wanted to find you, they would have to do a little more research than hear this podcast and it say you live in Hardwood Heights. You would need a little more research.
Yeah.
I live in Belmont Cragen.
Yeah.
Somebody please find me. See if they could find me.
Like
I'm not saying where I live.
Huh? No, I'm just saying.
You just said it like 3 times.
She didn't say it.
I said I used to live in Hyde Park, but I didn't say where I live
Right,
now.
listen.
Oh.
I live in Belmont Cragen. Belmont Cragen is not that big of a fucking area.
Wait, where do you live now?
Don't say it.
You almost got me. I just turned to you, and I was about to say,
no,
I got
you.
You
would have bleeped that.
Northwest suburbs. Northwest suburbs. I'm not too far from here.
So you're in the suburb. You're not even in the You're not in the city
I used to be in the
limits.
city, but now I'm in the suburbs.
That's fair.
Yes.
Again, my point is
Hyde Park is the city?
Well, where I used to live, it was.
It's a
like
town. It's like
15, 10 minutes outside the city.
It's a neighborhood, but it's outside of the city?
Yeah, it's outside the city. It's like, I mean, I could get to the city in like 15 minutes.
Listen,
like it was quick, 10 minutes.
It's like you telling someone, I drive a Toyota Corolla. Find my car in a lot full of Toyota Corollas.
Well, you know what? This motherfucker found me. So
you said this motherfucker.
Because that motherfucker was following you on Facebook and literally looking at pictures of your house that you probably have or whatever, and then coordinating it. Because I've done that, not for the reasons you may think. When I saw her face, she's like,
wait. What'd you say?
Okay, listen. So I used to have a barber, right? I had a barber, very popular barber. You know who he is, David Diaz.
Yeah.
And he was cutting hair. I didn't know what barber shop he was at because this motherfucker would move. Every other weekend, he'd be at a new fucking barbershop, right? So one of our mutual friends, Abdul, took his kids to go see David, right? And he posted a picture of them like outside of the barbershop, right? So I grabbed the picture and I kind of knew the area, right? So I ended up zooming in and I found the address and I found the place. Call me a fucking creep, whatever you want to call it.
People need to be careful what they post though, because like I'm like a detective. I can find shit. You
But
just take a
that's
photo
different.
and you can locate. Like
That's different.
And she's planning to play one on TV.
There you go.
True. I'm just practicing.
Yeah.
Anything else about Gen Zs and Gen Ys?
No,
can we get into this?
I think I got it off my chest.
I think everyone is great. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
So that's to piss you guys off.
Sure.
Everyone's great.
I think we all have our
strengths.
roles to play in life, right?
Yes.
I think I will say I do think, and since I'm editing the podcast with the producers, and we're talking about cartoons and stuff in the 90s, I will say you guys don't have shit on our 90s cartoon lineup.
No,
I hate
the
to bring it
90s
to you.
cartoons, honestly,
Yeah.
You
I
guys
even
ain't
look at
got
like
shit
Disney
up.
now, like they're not popping up. Like
Man.
the 90s cartoons were the best.
Like
Yeah.
you have,
I agree.
You guys that don't got shit on Power Rangers. You guys don't have shit on fucking.
Well, that's not a cartoon.
But I still
but it was
watched
a
all this
kid.
stuff.
No,
'cause I was
I
like,
know,
we're
but you
in-
guys don't
Oh,
have
you
a.
mean
You guys don't have a comparison like
Yeah.
something that was as big as that. You
Yeah,
guys
no,
don't
we
have.
don't.
comparable to
Comparable.
Yeah.
You guys don't have shit
Ninja
on
Turtles.
nothing.
Yeah.
Batman the animated series.
Definitely
nothing.
not X-Men.
X-Men, nothing. Like it's. I will say we had the best fucking childhood.
I
in the
agree
90s.
They got
with that.
pretty
The
good,
90s
like-
had good cartoons.
Like baby cartoons. Bluey's pretty good.
Who
Some
them?
baby cartoons.
Pocoyo.
Who's the bald kid?
Oh,
Caillou? You guys have Caillou.
Hell no.
I didn't watch them.
You got Caillou versus Wolverine. That's great.
I'm like, what?
or
I know
Bob the-
Wolverine.
Okay. All right. Another topic that I wrote down. because you're very into the spiritual thing and manifesting, right?
Yes.
I need you to explain to me. This might be my Gen Y mentality going. I need you to explain to me what that means. What does manifesting mean? Because I know what the definition means. What does it mean to you?
For me, I just want to say I believe in God, believe in angels. Like I'm very spiritual.
Do you believe in
the
Christian God?
What other God?
What do you mean?
Everybody has their own God.
I just believe in God. I believe in a source, universe. Like
Right,
I grew up Christian.
So the source would be, if you're saying a source, that would be different than a biblical God. Than the biblical God.
It doesn't have to be.
Not necessarily like. Yeah, not necessarily. I don't know. Like,
okay, continue.
Like,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So I believe in God and everything. With manifesting and like just like being positive and stuff. Like for me, I personally write like affirmations and manifestations every morning. At least I try to. And with manifesting, you're putting out what you envision for yourself, what you want, and it's not like, oh, like I'm a millionaire. Like, okay, I'm just gonna be a millionaire. Like, no, you still gotta put in the work, but you also have to like believe in that. So manifesting, like I've had a few things happen for me, like manifesting, like when I think of a story. So I made a vision board at the beginning of this year, and I put a picture of New York, like the skyline of like the Empire State Building, because I thought like, okay, I think I'm gonna travel. At my work at home job, I did travel a couple states at like trade shows and stuff because I would sell like in the wholesale world. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go to New York for like the show. So I put it on my vision board. Then she ended up booking me for that trip, and I was like, oh, sweet. So then she books me at a hotel, and I get there, and I connect with the front desk person for like 20 minutes, and she had already given me my what's it called, my hotel key, and I was on like floor like 15 or something. And then we talk for like 20 minutes. We're just like, connecting, and at the end, she's like, you know what? Give me your room key. And I was like, okay. And she gave it to me. She's like, here's your new room key. And she put me on the 40th floor in a penthouse suite. And I was like, are you serious right now? She's like, no, like I really want you to have a good time. You deserve it. You get the view this way. You weren't getting the view, this way. So I'm like, thank you so much. Like you just made my whole trip. Like this is amazing. I'm like
that
alone.
Happened to me too, except with Avis car rental.
Bruh, I can't. That's hilarious.
They gave me an SUV instead of a compact.
You had a Dodge Omni.
No, listen, I'm not done with the manifesting
Go
though.
ahead.
So that's hilarious though. So then I go up there, and it was like a couple days in the show. Like I didn't realize it, but like there was one morning I woke up at like 6 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and I like was laying down, and I was just like looking out, and it was like the sunset, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it was such a beautiful scene. Like I was looking at the Empire State Building, and then I had chills. Like it hit me like, holy shit, this is on my vision board. Like literally the exact photo of what I was looking at, like live in person, was on my vision board. And I just had found that photo, and I was like, oh, like here's, New York. And I put it out there, and I believed it. Like I'm going to go exactly here. And I didn't know it was going to turn up exactly like that. So for me, I feel like it's like putting something out there and really believing in it. And you don't know how it's going to transpire, but it's just going to happen.
Let me ask you a question about that.
Yes.
Before I forget my question.
Yes.
That I probably already forgot. Do you think that would have happened without
the vision board?
The vision board.
I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure we're feeling the same way. I mean, I look at it like, I get what you're saying.
I honestly don't think it would have, because she wasn't going to book me at the hotel. She wasn't even going to book me on the trip. She really wasn't. She booked me last minute. And I was really like believing, I was like, I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to New York. I'm there in New York. Like I'm speaking in like a present tense, like it already happened. So she wasn't even supposed to book me. And then she also wasn't going to give me that hotel at all. Like it was just weird how it all came out. That's just like an example. Like, I mean, another manifesting thing, like I put Dream Team on the vision board. I put in the work. I did that. Yeah. Like I put it on my vision board. I put in the work, and by April I was signed. So like, and I've already seen other stuff in my vision board that like, you think it's going to turn out a different way, but then it somehow happens still in a way you didn't think. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That makes sense.
No, I get you. I get you. I'm
not
just
thinking like manifesting is like, okay, I'm this, I'm going to get this. And like,
I tried that $1 million one. It didn't work.
You didn't believe, John. You didn't believe.
You didn't believe hard enough.
You didn't believe hard enough. You really have to, like with manifesting, you really got to believe that shit and like be delusional and like,
Well, being delusional, I would argue, isn't the greatest. The greatest.
And like I heard
thing.
I think it was like Jim Carrey said that like about manifesting and stuff. Like you have to really, really believe
like
it. Even if you think it sounds crazy and like you don't believe it, you just really have to believe it. Have confidence in yourself. It's gonna happen.
But
and
I guess
the universe will put it together.
But my question would be, then what's the difference between manifesting and believing? Why not just call it believing? Because manifesting, the word manifesting, right, is kind of why I don't say we mock it, but we kind of do. We kind of poke jabs at it. Because the word manifesting technically almost means like coming out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So if really it's just a word replacement for believe, then why don't we just say that? Why don't we just say I really believe this is going to happen? Because the way you explain it, to me, honestly, again, I'm a logic guy. I'm a logical guy. I've never been a fan of connecting dots that are not connected, or there's no proof to show that they're connected, right? Sometimes shit just happens, right?
Yeah.
You manifested to New
does.
York. I feel like I gotta upgrade on my rental just because shit happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know?
you gotta believe that like shit happens for you. You know what I mean? And I know, I get what you're saying though. Like you need like to connect the dots, have proof and stuff. Like for me, I honestly see lots of signs in my life that with things connecting and stuff, especially over the last few years when I've really been like more present and like open to just like going with the
I'm
flow
just
and
this
stuff.
this list of Gen Z words are just growing.
Oh, yeah,
Good. I made a whole list. We'll talk
it's
about it in a
okay.
minute. We'll talk about it in a minute. Go ahead.
I don't
Continue. I'm
remember
sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't know what to say.
I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. I
No,
apologize.
it's okay. But
He's an asshole.
I am.
yeah, right. Such an asshole.
I'm
You gotta
sorry.
believe.
I
Man.
apologize.
No.
I apologize.
But what I'm saying is it was about like connecting the dots, not having proof. Like for me, I believe in that shit. Like I don't need like proof and stuff because I'm just spiritual. I see how things work. You know, I'm really with like energy and stuff. So like I believe everything happens for a reason and everything's connected. I feel like you connect to people for a reason. I believe in like soul contracts. Like I'm just like really deeply spiritual. And,
Like twin flames
I don't
and all
need-
that stuff.
I mean, yeah, like soulmates. I mean, yeah, I believe in that stuff, but like you don't need like evidence and proof for, you know what I'm saying? Like just really believe it happens and it's going to happen. Put in the work, really believe it.
Okay.
It's not going to happen if you don't believe it and put the work into it. You know what
Jonathan.
I'm saying? Yeah, I really want to hear. I have more I don't know. I'm still trying to like put my thoughts together about manifesting, but I want to hear what John has to say.
Real quick. So the reason I brought this up, obviously, all three of us have different opinions on things, right? I'm an atheist. She's very spiritual. Jonathan is Christian.
So
I know,
mix here. It's like
I know you want to say Christianish.
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 Ish. Yeah. Go ahead. So what's your opinion on what she said?
So manifesting. Hey, if it works
been
for
waiting
you,
for this
it works.
moment.
I think it's all hard work.
Dude, she's been
Yeah.
waiting for this.
And
And she wrote this to me. She can't wait to see how you're going to respond to this shit.
I think it has nothing to do with manifesting anything. I think it's all your hard work.
Yeah.
Maybe it's coincidences, but hey, whatever works for you. Shit.
I respect it.
Do you I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that because that's why, like, yeah, I poke jabs at Christianity because I'm not Christian anymore.
Degenerate.
But I feel, I don't believe, but I feel that if Christianity makes you a better person or whatever, or if being spiritual or into energy or whatever, that makes you a better person, then do it. I mean, I'd rather you be a better person than be a shitty person. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know?
like positive and a good person.
Yeah, I don't have to agree
I
with
respect
I don't have
what
to agree
people
with
believe
you.
and like what works for them. Like I really do respect that.
Now, here's a question. Here's a good question for both of you.
I like what John said though. That wasn't bad.
See, there you go, John. Points. See,
Okay.
I'm the
But
bad
John, you
guy.
gotta-
here. I'm
you
the
gotta
villain. I'm the
believe.
heel
Yeah.
here. It's okay. I'm the heel.
Shit
I'll
isn't
take it.
coincidence though. Shit is meant for you.
Jonathan,
Believe
you-
that shit. I believe I'm gonna be an actor, like an
believe-
actor. Like I really believe that for myself. It's gonna happen.
and
I really feel like I'm gonna be on a show and I'm gonna make it. I really feel that.
Awesome, and I really hope that it happens for you,
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Whatever.
How do you feel about that comment that she made?
About what?
Which comment?
Like, I believe it, so it's gonna happen. I mean, I kind of agree with you, right? I think it's believing and putting in work are two things. What's scary to me when I hear this is people, maybe not you, but people will start to skew that, right? And say, well, I believe it, so it's gonna happen, but I don't do this.
And then they like sit in bed and don't. And
Right.
They just
To
expect
me,
everything to come to them.
This is one of those things where
Got
I'm
to
like,
put in the work with manifesting. Okay.
I mean, I can say, again, like he said, I can say I want to be a millionaire. Doesn't mean it's going to happen for me.
You say I am a millionaire.
What are the chances of that
silence.
happening? What are the
Dead
chances of
silence.
Say
Again-
I'm trying to teach you guys how to manifest. It's dead silence.
again, these are those things where like when it comes to, and it's weird because when it comes to money, that's even more like harder to get. Like, I would love to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I believe I'm gonna look. No, it's probably not gonna happen.
Okay.
You gotta put it.
Not
You
shit
know,
like that.
even if I put the work in, it's he's a genetic freak. I'm not gonna look like him. You know, I think there has to be a combination of both. There has to be a little bit of
be realistic.
ration and believe. I think everyone should believe in what they want to do and how far they want to make it. I think that's, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta believe in yourself and what you want
I
to
guess
do.
my question is, why do we put other terminology for just something that's simple? Like, just believe in yourself. Believe, achieve. That's it.
Well, they say like, oh, like I'm manifesting this. I think it's just like a term. You know what I mean?
Is it a
Like-
trendy thing? Would you say?
I mean, I would say I feel like
I
my
didn't hear it when I was
generation's more
growing
into
up.
it. Like I even write like manifestations, like affirmations for like my job, you know, Burberry and stuff. Like I've had where I write exactly like what I want to sell that day happen. Like I had one where I wrote in the morning, I was like, I sold 3 handbags. And then I had a guy come in, they were visiting outside the country. He came in, looked at a couple bags. He's like, okay, I might be back. I'm like, okay. He comes back. He's like, I'll take this one, this one, this one. Exactly 3 bags in one transaction. Now that one was pretty good manifestation. That was pretty good.
Because I am a firm believer, very hard believer that one day I will have a full head of hair again. It's probably not going to happen for me though.
You gotta believe.
You gotta be
You know what?
realistic.
Acting
You
is
also
gonna
gotta be
happen.
realistic.
I think that's the thing. So
Yeah.
you're a Christian believer, yes?
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Right. What's your train on that type of stuff, like believing in something? Would you put it in God's hands? How do you do it? How do you handle that?
I
Does
feel
prayer
like
work?
you,
Yeah, I pray too. I just want to make that. known.
you know what was like a kind of a thing I would see at churches? People would say, oh, like the younger people would say, oh, God has a partner for me. And they would take it so literally that they would just sit at the house expecting for some
Guy to
night-
pop out of
yeah,
the sky
or
and
girl.
land on her.
I've
And-
seen a meme like that. Me trying to find my soulmate at home in bed.
Yeah.
and you
it's-
have like your glasses on. You're like,
Do you believe that? Do you think you can manifest a man?
well, like John said, you're not gonna sit in bed and like, you know, find your soulmate. But I believe if you really put out there like, I want this in my partner, you know, this is my husband and my soulmate. Like, I feel like it could come to you. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, it could. I think you can manifest anything, honestly.
But that also
that's
comes,
my opinion.
But that also comes naturally,
yeah,
right? Because
it comes naturally.
those things, again, this is why I'm like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not trying to. I'm just thinking out loud, right? Because I'm like, a lot of the things that you're saying are things that can happen without the added stuff, right? Like, for example,
Right.
I'll give you an example because I'm more, obviously I grew up Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of people tend to say someone who goes into remission for cancer, they're really quick to say God cured them. Did God cure them, or does cancer go into remission? Which one is it? You get what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
why can't we just say it went into remission? Because we know that's what cancer does. When it comes to boyfriend, girlfriends, right? Obviously, if you're heterosexual, you're attracted to a woman, man looks for woman finds him attractive. That happens all the time. It doesn't need anything special. It happens naturally. It doesn't need anything supernatural or whatever for that to happen, right?
No, I agree with that. Like, I'm not, for me, like, you know, I believe I have my soulmate out there, but like, I'm not sitting here like, I'm manifesting a man like right now. Like, for me, I'm like, I'm going with the
building
flow.
him out of
Like,
clay.
no, like, build him out of clay. Like, whenever it happens, it happens. But I do have a vision, like, manifesting of who I, you know, believe I should be with.
And
or like,
who is
I
this
would
man?
best
Just in
friend.
case he's listening. Who is this man? What?
We don't
what is
got to
he-
go into that.
Oh, come on. Yeah, of course we got to get into I'm kidding. Unless you want to. I mean, I don't know what
It's a
kind of
long
guy.
list.
What kind? Wow.
No, I'm
you got
well, I just know, like, for me, like, I'll just
a long
know.
list.
She said it's a
I'll
long
just
list.
know, like, my soulmate. I feel like when I meet him, like, I don't need, you know what I mean? I know what I deserve, and then
Do you have who did I? Didn't
and I
we
want
ask,
like a best friend. You know,
Didn't we ask Alyssa and Amaria the same question? Like,
I think.
what's
so.
your checklist for men?
I think so.
If you have one, do you have one?
I mean, I would say someone who respects me, cares for me, is a good person, someone I can be best friends with and laugh with. Those are like my important things, I'd say, because I feel like for me, I've been through a lot in like a few relationships, and so I just really know what I deserve. And like for me, I'm not really like dating around. I just kind of am focused on myself and like, you know, whatever happens, happens. If something comes, it does. You know, I'm just kind of at that like peace at this time. But yeah, I'd say like that's like my main things. Just someone who's caring, respectful, funny, my best friend.
That's the basic. That's the basic.
Well, what else should I say? I mean, there's a lot of things.
It's basic for a reason. Everybody wants it.
Everyone should do that.
Yeah,
stuff.
everyone. That's the bare minimum. Like respect, caring.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but yeah.
That's why I feel like you know, I don't know who's teaching these kids, boys, the guys.
Yeah, and
Now I see both sides of the equation. I think there's an excessive amount of young guys who are, I don't want to say the word weak because it's the wrong word, but like,
you could say that.
Sure, they're weak.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding. But
and I understand that women, you know, want a guy sometimes they can connect emotionally to, you know, a guy that kind of can show his emotion. But that's a dangerous slope because then you show too much emotion and then you become weak. Right. Then there's the new kids who don't want to show their manliness, right? Because in today's day, it's kind of frowned upon in some instances, you know, like if you tell a girl, hey, you're showing too much, we're not going, then you're looked at as a negative, like you're controlling, you're this and this. So like, where's the balance when it comes to that, would you say?
I mean, specifically, I think with that, I get respecting your partner and things. For me, I mean, I respect how anyone wants to like dress, express themselves and stuff, but I do think you should have some respect and boundaries in like what your partner feels. But I know that there is a line of like control and like, okay, you shouldn't wear this. Like you shouldn't, I mean, at the end of the day.
So if hypothetically, if you and John were together, let's just play this out.
Meow.
Let's just play. Wow, there you go.
Kidding.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
hey.
John.
Let's play this
She
out.
just kind of called me a pussy.
What?
A pussy cat.
What do you
She
mean?
meant that
I
in a
do
good
that
way.
all the
Meow.
time. No, I say meow all the time. Like, ooh.
Write that on the list.
My
Is
meow,
that a
no,
thing?
my meow is like, ooh.
See, she said that in a
Yeah,
good way.
I say
He's a
yeah.
Gen Y. He don't understand. He don't understand.
You'll start meowing next week, John.
Yeah, eventually.
I highly doubt that.
We're gonna manifest it.
Yeah, we're manifesting that you're gonna meow next week.
Right when I go home, I'm gonna put it on the wall. John meow.
That'll,
I'm gonna
be
literally
right
write
there.
this in my journal.
that'll be fucked up if I start
John
meowing.
is meowing.
Okay, so let's play this scenario. I'm just curious to see how this would work because John's a Gen Y, you're a Gen Z. If you guys were in a relationship and you guys were gonna go out to dinner or a group gathering, right? John, she's wearing a skirt, let's say, pretty close up her thigh. Let's just play this scenario. You know, a little. We could be open, right?
Go ahead.
A little revealing, whatever, right? How do you approach that as a guy? Let's say you're a little uncomfortable.
I would hope I wouldn't have to. I would hope like if we've been in a relationship for a while, she would know kind of what I like, what I don't like.
Okay, but
what
now
I
you're in
feel
the
like.
scenario though. So this happened.
All right.
So now how do you approach it?
We're here, John.
We're hoping. I agree with you. I would hope that at some point
Yeah.
you guys have both established already what's, you know, I don't want to say acceptable, not acceptable, but what's
Like,
comfortable,
what do you
what's
feel
not
comfortable
comfortable.
with?
Right. So now we're in this situation. She's feeling herself.
Okay.
You know.
I wouldn't be aggressive with it. I would be
You
like,
said
oh,
you would be
I
or wouldn't?
wouldn't.
Oh, wouldn't be.
I would be like, oh, go upstairs and fucking change.
So how
right
would you
now.
how would you approach it?
I'd just be like, hey, what's up with the dress? What's
What's
the
up
deal?
with the dress?
What's
And
going
now
on?
let's go to you. How would you respond to that? In reality, like you
In
right now, how
reality.
would you respond to a boyfriend or a partner telling you what's up with the dress?
I mean, I would ask, what do you feel uncomfortable with? What do you not like about?
You know damn well.
You know damn well you got your titties out.
I like this.
But
I like this. We
this
should
is
do this
great.
more often.
Let's role
We
play
should
it
do
out.
this more often. So what was your response?
Like I would ask, like, you know, what's up? Like, what makes you feel uncomfortable? What, you know, unless we've already discussed it, then we should have known. But like,
let's
if
pretend
say
we didn't.
Okay, we
Pretend we
haven't. And I would ask, what is your concern? What are you uncomfortable about? I feel good about myself. I feel confident. Why can I wear this? I'm with you. Why do you not want me to like wear this?
Sir Jonathan.
I'm just trying to get her to
Why can't you
agree with
support
me.
me?
I'm like, don't you think that the skirt's a little high? Don't you
But I
think
look
that,
hot,
that
John.
All
I'm your
right,
girl.
then.
There you go.
Shouldn't you don't you like that?
I'm gonna let this play out.
I know how you look. Why would you want everybody else knowing how you look?
Oh,
Okay, how would you respond to that,
I'm not trying to impress other people.
Jonathan?
This is just how I dress.
Then why are you dressed?
We're
like
playing
that?
chess here. You
No,
gotta
this is like
hit the little
a
classic.
scene now. This is like a
It's
scene.
gonna be a circle. It's just gonna be.
No, but the
Hilarious.
goal of this is to understand, right?
Like,
to try to
yeah.
get an understanding of how the difference in
Yeah.
dynamics and how people think,
Yeah.
how men think compared to women, right?
I feel like it depends the person too. Like it depends the guy, it depends the girl. Like for me, I personally don't like show my boobs. I don't wear super short stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. You look hot. Like I just personally don't like show them off like that.
I guess okay.
But
so
I would be fine like showing my boobs a little bit more, wearing something shorter. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's like a time,
Here's my-
and place and who you're. You know.
here's my question: why do you think a man would respond like he did? Why would you think he would ask you that?
I mean, I get it. It's you're his girl, you know what I mean? You don't want other people to see what you see. You know, it almost makes you feel, I feel like from a guy's perspective, like everyone can see now. You know, like everyone has her, pretty much mentality. You know what I mean? Like not has her, but can see her. And you don't get that privacy to show your person, if that makes. Does that
I
make
would say
sense?
you're
Makes
partially
sense.
right. I would say you're
like
partially right.
you're not leaving room for imagination, is like what they say.
I would say you're partially right.
Yeah.
I think the bigger threat, men
Or other men as well too. I totally see that.
So the thing is, I'm okay with you saying. I'm not saying okay. I'm just saying I agree with the fact that you say, "I'm your girl." I got it. Right? That's true. But we don't fear necessarily you going with other men.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, at least in my opinion, is the fact that we kind of compete with each other as men, right?
Like alpha kind of thing.
Ish,
Like yeah.
and that's just a natural
Yeah.
thing. That's how we kind of
Yeah.
are. That's kind of
like
how we are.
protective, like, you know.
Some are a
And-
little more obviously out there than
Yeah.
others, whatever. But naturally, we have a competitiveness with each other. Like, I'll give you an example. When Jonathan goes to the gym, I'm pretty sure he's looking, maybe not so much now because he's older, but if he sees somebody next to him who's benching a little more, doing something a little more, he's going to get a little more, all right, I got to put 5 more plates on this.
Rubs my engine,
Same thing
I
with
guess.
basketball. Same
It's
thing
like, I'm not
basketball with
fucking
me.
around.
No, it's a natural
yeah,
instinct that we have as men,
Yeah.
right? So I think for us, it's not so much you, it's what other men are going to think of you,
Yeah.
right? And I think
I
that's
see
what we
that.
kind of fear. And I think a lot of times ladies don't necessarily understand that because they're so caught up in, I want to look like this for me or for whatever,
Mhm.
and not understanding why we actually say it. Now, me,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not,
see what you're saying for real.
I don't
though.
necessarily care. In my opinion, I've never
I don't
really
know.
cared
For
how
me,
women
it
dress
would
for
be
me.
like, I don't want to have to fend off a bunch of guys. You know, like if I catch a guy staring at you, I'm gonna have to fucking fight him, and then the next.
Yeah.
That's how you
guy,
react when guys.
I'm not that I'm gonna fight
such
him,
a child.
but you got to say something.
No, you
or else
don't.
you're gonna look
Don't
like
let
You
them
don't have
beat
to
their
say.
ass.
You don't have to say shit.
or give him a look at
No,
least.
none of that, bro. As an
No,
adult,
you just
listen,
gotta let that slide.
Listen, I don't respond.
mean-
Listen, hold on. I'll give you an example. So my. No, I'm not even gonna tell that story. That's too personal.
Go ahead.
But no. It's my coworker. I don't want to.
Meow.
Spill the
listen.
tea.
Spill the tea. Yes,
Listen,
John.
listen. I'm an adult. I don't react that way anymore. I did when I was younger. Somebody looked at my girl the wrong way. I'm checking that motherfucker. Right? I don't do that anymore. I don't need to do that anymore. If she's offended and brings it to my attention, then I respond as a man. You can look at whoever you want. I don't care. That don't bother me. You can look at my woman. I know she look good. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now, again, if she tells me, hey, this motherfucker did this or he looked like this or said this, blah, 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 now we got a problem.
Right.
Then as a man, I got to do my duty as a man. But I'm not going to overreact because someone is looking. That's just ridiculous.
You know what I mean by look.
That's what you said.
It's not like a.
That's what you said. I don't care if someone's gawking. Like, man, she
Gawking,
whatever.
yeah, that you
I
got
don't
it.
know. Why do
Yeah,
you have
fuck
to?
yeah.
Why do
You
you
just
have
ignore
to?
it. Like you
you're
were saying,
making
like
it
just ignore
obvious.
them. Like
That-
unless they bring it like an issue, then okay, take
If
care of it.
you
But if they're just
cross-
looking, like okay, like they're just looking.
Yeah, I know
mean,
she look good. I get
Do you
it.
know what
like,
gawking means? Gawking
Like
is
drooling,
like fucking
like drooling right in front of her type of shit.
mouth agape, staring at your woman.
Me vale belga.
Okay. There's another one.
I
you
kind of
can-
like the protectiveness of John, though. I kind of like this.
I get it. I understand it. But the thing is, in today's day, that's only gonna bring problems.
That's true, though.
You get what I'm saying? That's only gonna bring a problem. There is a line that cannot be crossed. Don't misunderstand me. If you were my girl and you tell me, hey, John, that guy's looking at me a little too crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go up to you and be like, hey, bro, could you stop looking at my girl?
I mean,
But
if
if
I brought it
she's-
to attention, then I guess
That's different. If it
Because
doesn't
for me,
bother
I'm like,
you,
okay, guys, looking like whatever.
if it doesn't bother her, it doesn't bother me. I don't need to be defensive when she doesn't feel that she needs to be defended.
I get what you're saying, though, like from a guy's perspective, like, you know, how guys
Still love
might
you, John.
look at you. And like, no matter what, though, guys are going to hit on you.
Of course.
Like, no matter like if I'm wearing this, if I'm wearing a short dress with my boobs out, like, guys are going to hit on you regardless.
Guys are guys.
Guys are guys.
That's what it is.
So, I mean, just show up how you want to show up, but I think it just depends the person and just like respect and communicate, you know. But I feel like at the end of the day, you should dress how you want to dress. And like, if you look good, you shouldn't, you know, like that's your girl. Be confident. That,
I think
you
in
know?
a good relationship, a guy's gonna know that
Well, if you pick a girl,
like his girl dresses a certain way
Yeah,
and she likes
Yeah.
it, then it's cool.
I
But
think if
a girl's also gonna know where the boundary is.
if you
Yeah.
if you start dating a girl who you met who's half naked and then have a problem with the fact that she goes out
No,
half
you
naked,
can't
then
do
you're
that.
stupid.
That's who she.
That's
That's
your
how she
fault.
dresses. Like
That's
that's,
your
how
fault.
her.
You have no reason to
Yeah.
complain
you
about
can't,
that.
Like
You
change
picked-
her.
It's like
You
her
picked her.
everyday attire.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit too
John's
much.
not digging this.
You're uncomfortable then?
I mean,
Are you uncomfortable right now? John?
no.
Here's a question: can men and women? I sound like I'm in this girl's podcast, Alyssa's podcast. Can men and women?
Shout out to Alyssa
Shout
on to
out
the
to
next
Alyssa.
podcast.
You're just ripping her material off.
Like no,
She's
no.
amazing.
Can men and women be friends? Platonic friends. Big word there. 10 points. Jonathan, can men and women be platonic friends? You're a married man, so what's your
They can, I guess.
That's dangerous territory, yeah?
I mean, a woman can be friends with a man. I think no problem. It's when it goes the other way, it becomes a problem.
Why? To whom? Who does it become a problem to?
Like the woman, then I think.
A man's gonna be your friend if he's interested in you.
That's not true.
I mean, yeah. Well,
That's not true.
yeah, sure.
I feel like it depends the person
Yeah,
and
that's
like the
not true.
relationship.
So
And
you're telling me you have no friends who are females that you have no interest in?
Cousins.
Jesus, your circle's amazingly tiny.
I mean, I don't really have a lot of guy
got a lot of
friends.
friends
Yeah.
to begin with.
Okay, yeah, you're the
I'm
wrong
trying to
person.
think of one.
This is good.
I'm
I'm his
trying to
only
think.
non-related friend.
I've got female
Acquaintances.
I can't even talk right now. Yeah.
I got you, buddy.
But as far as friends, I consider a friend somebody that you go over their house and you talk shit with.
You hang out, you go out.
So you don't have any of those?
No, women?
Okay.
No, if
All
I'm
right,
going
fair.
to your house,
I would hope my husband's not going over a woman's house.
no, absolutely not.
So if you, for example, Alyssa,
Yes.
if you are in a
Without
relationship
a E. No E.
without an E, oh, yeah, I apologize.
It was bogus.
If I apologized, I felt
Hey,
really
that's
bad.
one of our words.
I felt bogus.
Bogus.
I felt really
Ooh,
bad.
we're on the same
Words
page.
that are loud on the podcast, bogus. No, I lost my train of thought. If you were in a relationship with a man,
Mhm.
would you have male friends? Do you think you could be friends with a man who's not your man and not have a problem?
I mean, for me, I don't have many male friends. Like I do, but like not that I like hang out with. You know what I'm saying?
And why is that? Is it like something is just a choice or is it like an instinctual thing?
I mean, I have like a lot of guy friends I feel like in Colorado, like who I grew up with. You know what I mean? And then here I've been here for like 10 years. So I do have like guy friends, but not really guy friends that I hang out with. And like for me, like I was just in a relationship for 3.5 years. We broke up last year. Like I wasn't hanging out with my guy friends. Like the few that I had, like I just like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's also like I know that most of my guy friends that I've had, they like have had a thing for me. You know what I'm saying?
There
so
it is.
it's like for me, I respect my man, and I'm not gonna go hang out with them. I'm not gonna call them, be close friends, you know, because like I want to just be friends with them, but it's like not on the other end. You know what I'm saying?
Guys are dogs.
They are. Because like I would love some more guy friends, but if I haven't really found like I have a select few that I feel like I can hang out, and it's like platonic, like we're cool, like I'm like I feel like a bro with them almost. I'm like we're cool, you know.
But they're like childhood friends, right?
No, I have a few new friends like from Chicago. I'd say like I've hung out with guy wise and like.
Are they your age group?
Yeah,
like around your age.
Yeah, I'd say around my age.
See, I think that's kind of the thing. I would say for women who want men as friends, I would say they would have to look more older than them, because the younger they are, I think guys are like how you said, like they're just really your friends because they're after your snatch.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I've had so many guys.
No, I'm not saying older guys are not going to do that too.
Yeah.
But older guys, like, again, like let's say, obviously I can only use me and him as an example. Like he's married. I'm not chasing anything. I'm not getting out of bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nowadays I'm not defeated.
Okay.
I am undefeated.
I'm saying
let's get
so
that
you're like if it comes, it comes. You're doing your own shit. You're focusing. You're working.
Like my goal with people that I meet is not. First of all, again, it's to show you how petty it was for me. Like, I live 10 minutes from here. If I was talking to a girl who lived in Hardwood Heights, that's too far. I'm not traveling that far to go after that chick. That's too far for me. That's too far.
10, 15 minutes?
That's too far. Now, mind you, this
Wait,
is from someone.
You gotta be walking.
Yeah, you're gonna walk.
No, but I'll tell you why. This is from someone who used to drive to fucking Zion, Illinois to go see chicks.
Where is that?
That's like 2 stops after Great America.
Is that like an hour away?
Like an hour and almost 2 hours from here.
Okay, well that's a little far.
Okay,
but like 30 minutes.
But I
45.
I did that for a lot. I chased girls all over the place. I did. When I hung up the jersey and I said I'm done, you know,
so I'm not driving 2 hours for this bitch.
I'll give you an example. Listen, Erica's a good friend of mine, right? She's gay. Ain't nothing happening there. That game is closed. That's closed door, locked, the whole 9 yards.
Most of my guy friends are gay,
but she's a good friend of mine. It's just. You could have a girlfriend that's a girl that's a friend, right? But you have to have a sense of maturity about it. Like, again, it all depends. If you show signs as a guy that you are immature and you cannot handle this shit, then of course it's going to bring up red flags, as the youngins would say, right? But at the same time, then do we have the same worry because you said girls can have platonic friends and we can't, right? Did you say that?
Yeah. I mean, in their mind, it's platonic, but it's not the same way the other way around.
So you're basically saying that all guys just really just want to.
No, not
I just
all
feel like it depends
guys.
Like the person and relationship too.
I guess if you want to be friends with a guy, it's got to be, for me, like if I'm dating you, it's got to be like a group dynamic. You're not just going out with a guy. It's got to be, a group of people.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I see what you're saying. Like I don't feel comfortable like my man going to hang out with a girl alone. And I like in
really?
my whole
Really?
I
like,
really don't.
No,
I mean, if it's like a
child,
if it's like a childhood friend, like a long term friend, you're good, you're actual friends, and okay, that's different. But like for me, when I was with my ex, like I didn't go and hang out with guys alone, like out of respect, because that's just like.
I wonder where that stems from though, because like I can go have lunch with Emma. Right?
Well, yeah, like
who we know, yeah. Right? But like,
who's like your actual friend?
She's a friend of mine. Let's just say I had a girlfriend, and she doesn't know Emma. I don't feel there's anything wrong with me gonna go eat with Emma.
I don't think that.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't think that's an issue.
You may not feel, but
there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. She's just a friend of mine.
It just depends who the friend is, like what the relationship is, because like that's fine. Like if like we're together and you're like, hey, like I've been friends with a girl for years, we're totally like, I'm like, okay, like let me see, and like go ahead, like, and I should trust you, and like you're not supposed to like control your partner too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you shouldn't do this, but I feel like you should respect. Like I'm not gonna go hang out with dudes alone. You know,
I
like
feel
going to
like-
lunch with like a, you know, an actual friend. Okay. But still, there's just some boundaries, you know, like.
I wonder if it's because like when I dated, like she worked a lot with HR, right? She was an HR rep. So like she used to have to go to a lot of business dinners with guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got accustomed to that, right? And then again, I'm one of those dudes like, don't ask, don't tell, you don't know. What you don't know is not going to fucking hurt you. The more you dig, bro, listen, if you dig, you're going to find it.
I understand what you're saying.
Well, at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to date. You should
Correct.
just respect your partner.
Correct.
Like, hey, if I go to lunch with a friend, like, you should know, like, that's it. You know, like,
Correct.
I trust
Honestly,
and respect you.
That's different though. That's
That's
a
like work and
business. That's
stuff.
work. Yeah.
Right, but guys are guys, right? Didn't you say that?
That's true though. I've had
You
so
said
many.
that.
I've probably had like 10 male clients at my job currently, like hit on me, and I've actually lost a few clients because like they would try to like hit on me and like kind of push it, and I'm like, you know, I would, you know,
Like,
I'd love
who
to
hasn't-
assist you, and then they just drop me because they're like, "Ah,
But let's be real. Who hasn't messed around, talked to, flirted with a coworker?
my ex-boyfriend was from my
And who-
work,
and
so
who-
yeah, we met at
Yeah.
work.
Who hasn't gone to a Christmas party or whatever and tried to, you know?
It's
Who
true.
has it? It happens all the time.
Can happen
It has
anywhere.
nothing to do with business or whatever. It's who's handling what. It depends on who you're with.
Yeah.
If you're with someone who you trust and they're trustworthy, then they will handle themselves accordingly.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't have to worry. The more you worry and the more you dig, you're going to find something you don't want to find.
So you're saying there's something
No,
there.
what you're saying
Yeah,
basically.
you're saying there's something there.
No.
You're saying if you dig,
If you
there's
keep
something
digging, there's
there.
something
You're
there.
always going to find something. You're going to
Well,
find
there
something.
shouldn't be something.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah,
But again, it's like if you're already digging, then there's a problem in that relationship.
that's true.
If you're digging, like, okay, I'll give you the
Maybe
small example.
like you don't trust, or that person's not showing a reason to give you trust.
So, no names, but basically he looked at his girl's phone, right? And he happened to tap, or quote unquote, he says he happened to tap on the search,
Oh yeah, because
and an ex-boyfriend.
that
You
happens
happen to tap
acc-
on the search.
accidentally all the time.
He tapped on the search, and an
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend's name popped up
Wait, search on what? Like
on Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook.
And you know how it records who you
Oh,
looked
who you
at
looked
recently?
up. Oh,
So tapped on it, and it said
he didn't
an
accidentally get there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And an ex-boyfriend
Well,
showed up.
I accidentally hit Facebook and then I accidentally hit the search bar.
And then I accidentally looked through your search history.
Yeah. So
Story doesn't check.
So this
off.
is what he told me, right? And he was upset.
lie.
And he was upset, right? Because an ex-boyfriend popped up. I'm not saying he shouldn't be upset. That's not my point. My question was, why are you looking through her phone? What you looking through her phone for?
Yeah.
I don't care what
Why are
she
you
did.
looking through the phone? And then why are you looking that ex up?
I don't care what she necessarily did. For example, for a second, yes, it's probably wrong for if she's looking it up for the wrong reason. But why are you looking at her phone?
Yeah. I mean,
You already have a problem. You already don't trust the girl. There is a problem there already. I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I'm not saying she's justified for what she's doing. But we're not looking at what the actions that we're doing. Why am I looking at her phone?
yeah, I never looked at my ex-boyfriend's
I never
phone.
looked at my
I
girl's
respect it.
phone.
I was like, you know what? If you're
Never.
going to do something, then you're going to do something, and then we're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to respect me or you don't.
Right. I mean, I don't think you should be going in phones. If you're going into phones back in the day, looking through the mail, those type of shits. Why are you
I
in a
think it's
relationship?
different, though, if you're married, though. Especially for
Yeah.
years. I would see that. Like,
What do you
I
mean?
know multiple people who are married, and they're like, oh, like my, they know my password or whatever. And like, I mean, I don't think you should be like stalking and like checking their phone every day. Like, that's crazy. But like, you should be able to like just get on and like, okay, I can look this up or whatever. I can use your phone. Like, you should
Yeah.
feel comfortable. I see that in a marriage, like for years on, not in like, I'm just like a
Like, you know how
relationship.
comfortable I think it should be with phones? It'd be like, oh, let's order pizza. Here, call from my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it should
That's
be.
what I'm saying. Like, you
that's-
shouldn't be like either like you cannot look at my phone because then that's like a little sus. Because you're like, I'm not even trying to look at your phone like that. I just need to call someone.
But if
it's-
you're doing that shit like in that meme where like the guy's sleeping and then she's on her phone like this, holding the phone in his face type shit, there's already a fucking problem.
That's
you
funny
should
as
not
fuck.
you should not be in that relationship
Well,
if that's
that's-
what you're doing.
when I was
fuck-
like 16, I did that with like the thumbprint.
Oh,
Wow.
He was cheating on me though. I was fucking right.
Okay.
so.
She was right.
But you
I was
already
right.
suspected
I
something.
suspected,
There
but
was
I
already
mean
a
that
problem.
wasn't right for me. I wouldn't do that shit now. I was like 16. I like took it. He's like
So,
sleeping.
like,
I'm like that's
a couple
stupid.
weeks ago.
couple weeks.
I'm like
Couple
yeah,
weeks
last
ago.
week.
Yeah,
Last
couple
week.
weeks ago.
That is kind of crazy. But I was like, I mean, I was right. So detective, right? Detective work.
Yeah.
No,
and it could have been for anything too. She could have been.
I could have been ordering a pizza.
No,
I could have been going on Facebook.
Yeah, but I'm talking about his.
Okay, so he made a bigger deal of it. So he said that, again, I'm only taking one side of the story. I don't know the other side of the story. So he was saying that they had talked about this prior and that he had requested that she block these people, right?
Before this happened.
Before this happened,
Oh.
right? And whatever. And, you know, it unblocked supposedly, whatever the case. Now, again, my thing is, again, I'm a different dude, right? I'm very nonchalant about shit. I'm not a very jealous person. I don't even feel that it's necessary to tell a girlfriend, hey, I need you to block said people. To me, I feel like that's unnecessary. Why is that necessary? Would you say, would you request that? Would you request that your boyfriend block his ex-girlfriends from Facebook or any social media?
I mean, I wouldn't request a blocking unless it was like for a reason, like they were trying to contact him. But if he's contacting back, then that's that's his choice.
Right.
But I don't think I wouldn't ask like, hey, go block this person.
Jonathan would,
because I still have respect like for my exes, and like I'm still friends on like Instagram with them, but it doesn't mean like I don't even talk to them. You know what I mean?
Should you be friends with an ex?
That's
Jonathan.
I
feel like he's just gonna say no. He's just gonna say fuck no.
If you're in a relationship, what do you mean by friends though? Facebook friends?
yeah. Like I'm not friends with these people like talking to them. I'm just
matter.
like civil. Like
Yeah.
I wish
Okay.
you the best. We're just friends on Facebook or something.
That's
you know?
I did not expect that answer from you.
Wait, what did you just say?
What did I say?
He said if they're just Facebook friends, it's whatever.
Yeah.
What did you want me to be?
I
like,
thought you were
oh,
gonna be more of the opposite of that. More of the no, block that motherfucker. I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna beat his ass.
Oh, he would. He would
No.
say that. He would say that.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, I just hiccuped.
I think relationships are so overly complicated now
Yeah.
when they should be simple.
Well, you make it simple because it seems like you don't care about anything.
Oh.
I care about a
Just
lot
Shots
of things.
fired.
I care about a lot of
yeah.
things. I just don't. I like to keep my sanity.
It does fuck with your head.
That's
Yeah.
why would I want
Yeah.
the? Why would
That's
I want
true
it?
though.
Like the kids.
look away.
And I say it because I went through it. I went through a relationship where I couldn't fucking sleep and I'd fucking drive around the city at the middle of the fucking 3 a.m. because I'm tripping out over a chick or whatever. This one cheated on me here, cheated on me there.
We've been through it. We've been through it.
At some point, relationships are very basic. You're with me, I'm with you. We have a set of mutual rules or agreements, right? And we
guess.
don't cross certain boundaries. That's it. That's it. I don't think I should be in your business, and it's not your. I don't have a requirement for you to tell me your business, right? You have a life as well as I. I would hope that we have enough respect for each other that that's. If it's you're going out for a business meeting, that it's a business meeting. I'm gonna respect you and give you the benefit of the doubt there. But if I already have suspicions, then why am I in this relationship? Because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
If you're already having suspicions with no proof, forget it if you find something.
And I think though too, it depends also because like for me, I've been through a lot, so there's an underlying anxiety of like, okay, like let me learn to trust this person again. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you got to take a risk.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, you start over with someone. You can't put that past stuff onto the new person, and if you feel like you shouldn't trust them, then you probably shouldn't be with them. If
I
you
agree.
don't feel like you trust them,
I agree. If you don't trust someone, you shouldn't be with them.
You shouldn't be with them because then you're causing all this anxiety and yeah,
And
no.
shit gets bad.
it's almost like
Yeah.
when someone cheats and you actually give them a second chance.
Yeah.
Those are really
then,
hard.
Like fuck.
Those
Yeah.
are hard because if I was to cheat on a woman and she was for some reason, don't take this offensively, stupid enough to take me back, because I think it's stupid when people take second chances that way. I don't even know how I would think, because literally everything is going to trigger that jealousy thing or that worry thing. Why would I want that? Yeah. And a lot of people do that, and it's just like I never understood why people go back with people that cheat.
For me, that I like if someone cheats, like I'm done. Like that gives me anxiety. I don't want to have to keep thinking like, you know, that just you disrespected me, and now I feel like I can't trust you. This is gonna cause issues. Like, I mean, it depends the relationship. If you've been, you know, together a long time and you work through it and you get through it, okay. But like for me, it's like I have the
That's an
anxiety.
anomaly.
I have the anxiety.
People do, but
Yeah,
I would
people
say
get
that's
through
an
it.
anomaly.
Yeah,
That's
but that's hard shit to get through.
that's got to be like one every like 10,000 relationships.
Yeah.
Not many people get through it. That shit's hard. It's
Okay.
really hurtful.
So let's get a little funnier. Have you ever been friend zoned?
Have I ever been friend zoned? Yeah. By a couple guys. I'd
By a
say.
couple guys?
Yeah.
How-
Like
how did
by
you-
a couple. No.
How did you feel about that? Like, how did you feel? Honestly.
Well, I'm just thinking of like this guy like last summer, or maybe it was like the fall time. I don't know how I connected with him. He like lives in Florida because my dad lives in Florida too.
Okay.
And he's like a really handsome, like built guy. And we became friends on Instagram through mutual friends. And then I think I actually slid in the DMs and we like were talking and
That's
stuff.
a rarity.
You know,
That's a rarity.
and I was just like, hey, like I love your posts. Like you're really, you know, because he's like I think he's like a personal trainer and stuff, and like he eats really healthy, and like I just appreciate like him posting like healthy eating and stuff. So I was like, hey, like I appreciate, you know, the motivation and positive stuff you're posting, like, you know. And he's like, oh, thanks. And we were just kind of talking, and then it just kind of went dry. Like he wasn't really like replying back, and I just was like, okay, whatever, and I just left it. And we're still friends on Instagram. Like we like each other's photo, whatever. But like I don't know if he was talking to someone. I don't know if he was interested in me. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean?
Never got to that point where.
So no, but the guy never told you, I see you as a friend.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Boy,
I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure. I
guess-
feel like
Well, 'cause
every
it was
woman
just-
has
but that
said
was
that
just, like,
to a guy.
That was just like small talk though over Instagram. I gotta think of something, I guess, in person. I don't know.
I've been friends.
Well, yeah, I would
I've
say
been
friend
friend-zoned.
zoned. Yeah, like I just want to be friends. Like, yeah, I just can't think of like a specific person right now, but that has happened to me. Yes.
I feel like it's so
But it's-
interesting when
yeah.
it happens a guy to a girl, because it's usually, to me, I feel like it happens every other day to us. Almost
you?
to the point where it's like,
you?
well, you didn't date that much, so that you're a bad example. It's almost like how I would look at, you know, the differences between guys asking girls to dance and girls asking guys to dance and how they react. Like a guy who's very comfortable in the dancing club era, like he'll go. It's like almost like the Quagmire thing. Like he goes, asks this girl if he wants to sleep with her. She slaps him. He just flops back, comes back, asks the next one, and the next one. It's kind of like that when it comes to dancing. Like you would ask
Jeez.
one girl, she says no. Okay, now on to the next one. You want to dance? No. You want to dance? No. But if a girl asks a guy to dance, right, and he says no, the reaction isn't the same.
I mean, for me, I'd be like, okay, like,
Really?
yeah.
You wouldn't feel,
I don't
feel
care. Like,
some type of way?
no, like I'm just personally not offended. Like if a guy's not attracted to me, I'm like, not everyone's gonna be attracted to you. Like if a guy like declines me, I'm like, okay, like that's fine.
Maybe,
like I
maybe
don't
there's
I don't
something
want
I like
some.
about Gen Zs. Maybe
I
there is
don't-
one thing, because millennials fuck my life.
I don't
what they
want to
react.
be like with someone who doesn't desire or want me at all. Like why would I? If they're not even wanting me, it's like, okay, like if I'm not gonna force you to like me or be attracted to me. Like not everyone's gonna be attracted to me, and I'm okay with that.
You know what the
you
bad
know?
thing is? I think
I'm not
guys take
offended.
I think guys take advantage of that. Right? Because like
What do you mean?
guys normally don't turn down women per se. No matter if they're necessarily not attracted or somewhat attracted,
Yeah.
they're not gonna necessarily turn it down. If they're honest, they'll say no. Right? I've
I
turned
think
down
more
women.
probably men turn down than women. Which is that what you're saying? Like
No, no,
I
no.
mean, sorry, yeah. Did I say it right?
Women turn down men.
Yeah.
Right, but men don't turn, because I'm a firm believer. Like I want to say men are. What was the word we were saying? Men are what?
Cool.
No. That we were like
Cool.
dogs. We were dogs. Or dogs. Like men are dogs. But that's the stigma, right? That we have. So we kind of go with anything, which is not a good thing, right? It's not a good thing. John, stop your
Oh,
fucking.
fuck.
You're full of shit, John.
John,
we-
would you go with anything?
No,
Oh
I
my-
would not go with anything.
God.
Not now in your
But it's
life.
true,
Not
some
now
guys
in your life.
would.
I'm not talking about now.
I-
I'm
yeah,
talking about in your youth.
Yeah.
In your youth days, when we take 20 years away from what you are right now.
Okay.
When you were 20 years old.
That would put me right at 20.
Okay, so if you were
Okay.
20 years old
Yes.
and whatever girl walked up to you and said, "Hey, do you want to smash?" What are you saying?
It would be really hard for me to say no.
Okay, now they
It
did this.
would
This is
be
actually
hard,
on
yeah.
YouTube. They have this experiment.
Yeah.
Now, he would say yes, right? Now, if a guy went up to you, whatever, good looking dude, whatever. If a guy said, "Do you want to smash?" What's your answer?
No.
Okay. Do you see the difference? That's all
Yeah.
I'm implying is that men, for the most part, won't probably reject a woman. An honest guy would. If it's an honest person, like I went on a few dates when I was younger. I like to consider myself to be honest. In my older days, not when I was really young, I would say I'd be honest. I'd be like, I don't think this is working. You know, I appreciate the company. I hope you had a good time, but I think this is about as far as we're gonna go.
I appreciate honesty.
That's how I was when I got older,
communication.
like my early 30s. When I turned 30 and above, that's how I would approach dates. In my 20s, my early 20s, that's a different story. I mean, that was
like, hey, okay, let's go.
I was like, no, okay, you okay, fine, over here. I wouldn't care, but it's
Dude, there's this thing on YouTube. It was so fucking I couldn't even watch it. It was like a science experiment. They had 10 men, 10 women, and they're trying to see if the numbers match up, right? So they I guess they ranked them 1 through 10 as far as looks. So you have them in a group, and now they're trying to like fucking pair with each other via how they fucking look or how attracted they are to the person. And you see people like holding their hand trying to grab a girl, or a girl grab a guy, and then he'll just turn around. It was so fucking,
You need to watch
I don't
this.
even like to say it, but
I'm
cringy.
I'm still kind of lost of what the concept was.
They just want to see if like you're a 7, the girl's
Thank
a
you.
7. If you
Thank you very much.
pretty good.
that was
appreciate
just no.
I appreciate that. You don't
At
think
least
I'm
he
a
didn't
7,
say
John?
you're a 3.
You don't think I'm a 7, John?
I got no comment on that.
Man, bro,
But
you're not comfortable in your
I'm just saying,
masculinity, bro.
if you're a 7 and a girl's a 7, if the 2 7s would end up together, or
Okay.
if a fucking 7 would end up with a 2, that's what they're trying to see.
Oh.
So what do you think would happen?
I mean, the numbers pair up for the
Did
most
they?
part. I mean,
For like
maybe
the
you
most
had,
attracted to most attractive.
yeah. I mean, maybe you had like a 6 with a 5 and a 5 with a 6, but for the most part, they're like,
Interesting. I tend to think that, or at least for what I've witnessed in my lifetime, like high school is a good example because you normally see the majority of the pretty girls going with a select group of dudes, going after a select group of guys, and vice versa. The guys would go after, not necessarily the guys after the pretty girls, but you would see a
well,
good
for the
looking
most
dude
part,
with whatever.
yeah.
You would see
Pretty-
would see a 7, and he wouldn't have a problem walking around with a 2, right?
I think when we were all younger, we all went,
But I've always felt that girls tend to swing up when they look for relationships. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. But they tend to swing up. Like if you're a 7 as a female, you would probably shoot for 8 or 9, and a 7 is okay, but you tend to look for something better than, I would say. I mean, you're a girl. What would you say? Do you tend to shoot up, or do you play in your field? Would you say? Sounds so stupid.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, for me, it's just whoever I'm attracted to, who I'm attracted to, and also
That's
like
fair.
their personality. It's not just about like looks, but like, of course, I need to be attracted to them. Like,
if
but
there's no attraction. it's
yeah,
not-
like
Well,
you
of
have to be
course,
attracted
that's the
together.
start
But
of
I'm not
everything.
like, oh, I need this like super hot ass guy. Like,
Well, he has to have fitness. Because you're Florida guy.
I know, right?
Was a
You're
gym guy.
Florida.
my
I wrote
last few
that
guys
down.
have been in fitness. I don't know
Fitness.
what's going on. Like literally, the last few guys I've dated are all in fitness. I'm like, maybe I need to switch it up.
Are you looking for people that are in fitness? Into
No,
fitness?
I wasn't like looking. I mean, it's. I do appreciate someone who takes care of themselves and like goes to the gym, like like the scenario. you know?
That's interesting. I don't
Yeah,
know
like
how I
I mean,
feel
I
about the gym
appreciate
anymore.
someone who. I mean, I barely have time to like work out, but I hope someone just takes care of themselves, eats healthy, tries to get exercise, But I don't need like a ripped like
Someone who looks like they
bodybuilder.
try.
yeah.
Like that guy
That's
on the wall.
Yeah, I need that.
John's gonna say that's a god.
That's a specimen
I need
right
some
there.
abs.
You need abs.
That's great.
You
Well, I
need
mean,
something to
abs
wash
are-
clothes against.
Yeah. How am I gonna wash my clothes?
I mean, we don't have a mangle anymore.
Yeah,
I do love abs. Those are nice.
You like abs?
But it's not like, you know.
the end all be all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's more about
Okay.
the soul. You guys are like,
So let's
"Gosh."
go back. Let's go back to the movies. What's your what would you say is your favorite movie? I always ask this question.
I know.
John gets pissed off.
I actually thought about this because I'm like,
don't
I feel
get
like you're gonna
pissed
ask me
off,
this
but-
because I love. There's so many like good movies out there. I love so many movies.
Give me
so
a
it's
top.
hard.
Give me a top
Well,
5.
Oh no, I can't do that.
That's
But
too many.
so there's this. Okay, there's so many great movies out there, like amazing cinematography, this and that. But I feel like the movies that I watch the most over and over again, that's like my favorite movies, is what I can rewatch, and that's the Hangover movies.
Those are good movies. Those are fun.
I don't know why, like I
Those
just
are
love
fun.
them,
Never
and
seen
I
them.
love.
You've never seen any
The
of
Hangover?
them? None of them.
Oh, The Hangover.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Thinking about
3 of
something
them.
else.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about something.
So I
With,
personally love those movies. They're
something
so
Cooper.
funny.
What's his name? Something
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. That's one. That's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Didn't
That's a
we?
good
Ed,
looking
God, what's his last name?
No, it wasn't with me. I know what you're talking about. I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't
But
invited.
the
I wasn't
Hangover
invited.
movies are good. Oh, it's Thanksgiving again.
Yeah. So this started a long time ago.
Damn.
It was. This is just the
He
latest.
wasn't part of the clique
This
at
is-
the time.
This is
You gotta
literally.
invite him to Thanksgiving next year.
Listen, this is literally the next, the just another chapter in all the disappointments he's given me.
Aren't you guys like family?
Like I'll give you one.
We're
I'll give you
friends.
the biggest one. The biggest one was his wedding. I wasn't
were
even
you-
in his wedding.
Why can overdo?
Wait, were you there?
Huh?
Were you there?
He was invited.
I was invited, but I wasn't
you
in
weren't,
it. And I
like-
was his best friend.
John.
It's fucked up, right?
I thought
And
That's
then-
kind of hurtful. You guys are best friends, and he wasn't one of your best man. Is that what it's called? Yeah,
Yeah.
best man.
Groomsman.
Groomsman. I'm like
thought
best
you-
man. Well, but there's
The
another.
best man is the main guy.
Yeah.
then.
I
So
honestly,
you weren't even one of the groomsmen.
And then
groomsmen?
look
No.
at what the
Come
freaking
on.
listen.
Aren't you guys friends since like childhood?
The spike, he stuck the knife in, and the twist. Let me tell you what the twist of the knife was. The twist of the knife was that his best man was his cousin, and he hates his cousin now.
I don't hate him.
Yes, you do.
I just don't like him at all.
So wait, you're super because you guys have known each other since you're like
Children.
yeah.
Yes.
So you didn't put him as your best man, but you put your cousin who you're like, we're okay.
No. At the time.
Oh, at the time.
my cousin was living with me. He was.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even a groomsman.
No, I thought. I
That's
thought.
kind of sad. Aren't you guys best friends?
I thought the tuxedo rental was gonna be a financial burden on him for some reason. I don't know.
He's trying to justify.
I
I'm like,
am.
aw.
I'm fucking reaching. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
still
that-
waiting for
Were
a
your
great
other
explanation of that.
groomsmen best friends or family?
Family.
Family.
See,
Well-
this is a whole Thanksgiving thing
So
all over again.
I mean,
You gotta be blood related.
I'll be honest. I could have. I don't even remember who was in my. Was it David?
Yes.
You should have took.
He
David's
remembers.
spot.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
don't
every
know
single
what
Every
David
single
was
one.
doing there.
I remember. every
I mean, I
single one.
like David, but yeah, you should have. Well,
He likes
in
him.
retrospect, you should have been in Aaron's spot.
Hopefully,
So,
Aaron isn't
I'm
watching.
still scarred.
At least I
No, Aaron.
admit it now.
Aaron has. I know his cousins. I know his whole family. Right. Aaron
He's-
was a
he's
close friend
family,
of ours.
John.
Yeah,
Aaron was a close friend. I mean, not a close. He's a close friend. He was a close friend of mine. Obviously, he's his cousin, and we used to spend a lot of time together. But Aaron, the ground swallowed him because he disappeared. He moved to Australia, and no one's heard from him since. At least
Wait,
us
you said
two.
your cousin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is
He-
bizarre.
He was literally at the time sort of my best friend. I had two.
Aw.
But
Are you
he,
okay?
I'm
he,
fine.
he was kind of like my brother.
I've grown.
Like I said, we moved in together right before I got married. He was living with me for like a year. He was my roommate, and I don't know what the fuck happened. He just moved to Australia and never.
But guess who
he
didn't
say
move?
shit.
Guess
I
who's
was
still
about to say
fucking
that
around?
shit. Well, guess who's here?
Guess
Yeah.
who's here?
Guess who's here?
Everything that's
Guess who's
This is
happening.
like a
my-
therapy session
Guess
for
who's
you.
at my
your
house
guys'
every
friendship.
Friday?
Let me tell you, who shows up when shit is needed to be done? Me.
You are invited into my house every Friday. You've been to my house more than anybody else.
Okay, then that should prove I should be more important than fucking family sometimes.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
So next year, I think you guys should have Thanksgiving together.
Hey, you know what's funny is that he doesn't post about it. I find out through his other cousins because they post their Thanksgiving shit.
Wait,
and then
that's funny as fuck.
Dude, they all have like, there's like 30 people in his house. There's like 3 picnic tables inside freaking with food.
3 picnic tables.
And I'm playing Xbox at home by myself.
But
why didn't you invite him?
I get it.
We need the tea. Why didn't you invite
This
him?
one
Was it
was-
strictly
it's
family?
not-
No.
No. It was like strictly like all family. But at the
I
same
don't
time,
count Gus.
He's married to my
He's married to your
sister.
sister. Okay,
He's
fine.
my brother-in-law.
Fine.
That's funny as hell.
Fine.
The brother-in-law can come.
I am closer
I
than
agree.
your fucking brother-in-law.
I agree.
The only brother-in-law that I would that would I think surpasses me is your wife's brother. That's it.
Yeah.
I was about to say your wife.
Your wife's brother. That's it. He's the only one that
100%.
I would be okay with him taking my spot at the table.
I get it, but 100% had I known that you did not have plans at
You could have
all.
called. You could have called and asked.
You know what's funny? What if
But I
John
just
invited
said-
me next year?
This would be empty.
That'll be the picture I post. Me and her and the rest of my family.
Me and Alyssa would have a
So-
podcast, a brand new podcast here. Me and her.
You'd be like, who's John? That's what
Seriously,
you'd
who's
say.
John?
You'd be
Well,
so
who doesn't
We'll
think
replace his picture back here. It'd be Alyssa on the picture back here on the wall.
Cool. You can add me in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You could throw that in there.
But no,
You could do that now if you want.
I'm actually not bad. I just like pulling his chain.
No. You guys should have Thanksgiving though, for real, at some point.
Friendsgiving.
I'm
if
grateful.
you do not have plans next year, you're more than welcome.
I appreciate that, sir.
You and your family.
Witness.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I'm grateful my best friend invited me over to dinner because I was working the day before and after and I didn't have any plans. So I wasn't going to have like a good meal or stuff. I wasn't going to, cook all that. I was maybe going to, pick up some good food for myself. And she invited me over. So I was grateful for that,
See,
with her boyfriend.
You have great friends.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
You just rubbed that in my face.
I'm
Salt
sorry. I'm like,
in the
I'm so
wound.
grateful.
I like your friends.
Listen, so before we wrap up, what's down the pipeline for you? Do you have any projects coming down? Do you have anything that you're working on? Are you
What are you
writing
manifesting?
anything?
And what am I manifesting?
There you go.
Well, now that the strike is over, TV is back on, movies, all that, SAG, union, everything's back on. So I'm looking forward to auditioning for all the Chicago shows, and I'm manifesting.
Have you got anything
That
from the
I-
Chicago shows yet? Because they started filming like 3 weeks ago.
I haven't got any auditions yet
No.
because they just started the auditions. But I'm like, I know I'll get an audition
Fingers crossed.
out of some of them. So I'm looking forward to auditioning for that and just continuing auditions. I don't have anything like set right now because the strike, just started. Ended.
Do you have your own like projects or anything that you do or work on or anything?
Not currently, no. I don't have. I would love to. Some future goals that I do have, like once I get more into acting and stuff, I would love to direct as well.
Okay.
So I'm interested in doing that in the future. I really love like putting something together and like creating and having like an eye for something and, putting a picture together. I do love doing that. Yeah. So I do want to do like more work with that eventually. But yeah, for me, my plan right now is just audition, do stuff that's creative, stuff that makes me happy, that I love. As long as every step counts, so anything that I'm doing to put forward towards it that makes me happy, I think that's something. So I'm just looking forward to doing more and getting out there.
Right on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to plug your social medias or whatever in case someone wants to reach out to you. Maybe the man of your dreams is somewhere in
Man of my
in
dreams
the
is
Philippines
watching.
somewhere. I don't know.
Turkey.
So
Turkey.
random.
Turkey.
In Turkey.
Just in case.
That's where most of our
Or maybe if you
viewers-
haven't, maybe somebody has a short film they're looking for an actress. You never know.
Yeah. Well, my Instagram's Alyssa B. Taylor, so you can reach me there. That's about it. I have a website, alyssabtaylor.com.
Everyone has a fucking website. I'm the only person who doesn't have a
we don't
website.
You
fucking
should create a
website.
website for sure.
I feel like I wouldn't get any traction there, but who knows?
Like I'm not really anyways, but it's like it's building something. Like I created mine at Columbia my senior year. I had a voiceover class and I had a great teacher and he had us build like our own website and I created it and since then I've kept it. I pay for it and I'll keep
How much
adding
do you
onto
pay
it.
for that roughly, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it's okay. So I use the website GoDaddy and like they just charged me like 150, I think, for the
150
year.
A year?
Yeah,
That's not bad.
but it kind of goes up and down. It just depends. But I pay that and I pay like the domain, which isn't that much.
I kind of wanted to do that
But
for the
it's-
guest of the podcast.
I mean, I think it's good to have like a website of all your stuff. And like, I mean, even though like you might not get like traction, it's like, who cares? You know, it's there. You're putting your work there, and whoever wants to look can look. And then they can look at like my resume. Like I have my resume on my website, like my headshots, my IMDb link, like, and I'll add stuff as I, you know, do work and stuff.
You just put ideas in my brain.
You got to make a website.
I like it. I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time with us and not get too pissed off?
No, I really did.
Me.
No, I was not pissed at all. I had a really great time. Thank you for having me. I was excited to be here. And I thought I had fun. I feel like we had good discussion. You know, right?
I agree.
We had a great discussion. It was civil. It was like cool. We're chill.
He doesn't like civil. He likes
dramatic.
Dramatic.
I mean, I'm a dramatic actor.
You're like, I'm sorry if you're pissed at me. I'm like, I'm not pissed. Yeah. Like, I'm very open. Like, let's talk about our opinions, you know?
Right. I just, here's the thing. So and this will be the last thing I'll say. I have a very strong, I don't say strong opinion, but I'm not aggressive when I talk, but I can understand why some people would feel like I'm coming off that way. It's not my intention, right? I try to keep myself vocally civilized and whatever, and you know, I try to control the Puerto Rican in me. But I can
I don't know what that means.
I think you're passionate.
You know what that means, Jonathan. You're the anomaly when it comes to Puerto Ricans. Yeah. I've seen this man probably yell at someone maybe a half time once.
Ask my kids.
That's different.
But I feel like you're also like passionate. It's like, because I get very like, you know, like that too, but it's like you're passionate about what you're talking about.
Right.
I don't think you're not coming, like to me, I don't think you're coming off like aggressive. Like you're just passionate about your opinion and talking.
I just always want to cover my bases, you know, cross my T's.
Wait, I do have a question for you guys. What's your zodiac sign?
Oh God. What are you, John?
I kind of want to guess.
Go ahead, guess. Say guess.
I don't even know.
I feel like John's like an earth energy, super chill.
Oh, wait.
It's like, what the fuck is that? So earth energy.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was astrology. She's talking about earth.
I'm talking about astrology.
Yeah.
Like
so why are you talking about
I'm talking about astrology. So earth signs are Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn.
Motherfucker.
Okay,
I bet you're a Capricorn or Taurus. No?
What months were they? No, so you are.
Are you a Virgo?
I'm a Virgo.
Wait, you're a Virgo like me?
Yeah.
How did I not guess that? I just didn't guess that because I'm like, I'm a Virgo.
Yep.
That's crazy.
What am I?
Virgo twin. I love it. That makes see. I knew it was fucking earth energy. See, that shit's
earthy.
real, John. Manifest.
I'm musty. I smell earthy. That's what I got. From
Are you like super
that tobacco?
clean?
You like that tobacco freaking smelling cologne and stuff? That's earthy.
I guess.
Are you like super clean and like? And like organized, would you say?
Semi-organized. What?
Or not?
I am clean though. I am clean.
Are you like?
I leave socks on the floor, yeah, but the floor's clean.
But are you like a germaphobe?
Nah, I would say
no.
I would say no. He's not.
But Virgos are like known for being like clean and organized, like because I'm so
okay. What would you? What am I? That takes time.
This was John was like, I felt the earth energy, but this
she felt the earth energy.
Give me a second.
Isn't that the Jeopardy thing?
I was on.
I thought she was gonna say she was on Jeopardy. I'm like, when?
I'm on Jeopardy. Okay, let me think. Not an earth sign. Maybe you could be though. I was thinking Taurus earlier, but I feel like, oof. I want to choose wisely.
Go with your instincts.
Are you a Libra? You were an Aries? Pisces?
All right, just tell her what you want.
Are you an Aquarius?
You were right the very first time.
See?
Shut the fuck up.
I said go with your instincts.
I am bull.
You're a Taurus?
I am a Taurus.
Holy shit. You guys can't say shit. It's real.
I guess it is.
I fucking knew. I was thinking about it earlier and I was like, I bet he's a Taurus.
But why am I a Taurus? Since you know
Taurus,
what a Taurus is known for.
You really speak your mind.
It's a
like you
bull.
have no filter. You're bold. Yeah, it's a bull. Like you're bold. I feel like you really like my cousin, for example, he's a Taurus. He's really into like, you know, food and like
No.
No? Okay.
I
But
am.
what Tauruses are is like they really
food.
I love food.
No,
What are you talking about?
everybody loves
I
food.
mean, I
No,
love
like
food.
to another level.
You're not a
Like-
foodie.
Like to another level. Like
But does that mean, does a foodie only mean that you like to taste new foods or that you like to eat?
You like to eat good food from different places.
Okay,
yeah, like
fine.
restaurants,
Fine.
this
He's
and
a
that.
fucking-
And you really speak your mind. You don't care what people think. You just say that shit. You
That's
have no
sure.
filter.
That is-
Sure.
yeah.
That's
Wait, I'm
true.
kind of shocked that I got that shit on the first time. I was literally thinking you were a Taurus. That's crazy.
Ding, ding, ding.
So
ding, ding.
Taurus,
There were-
Virgo, and Virgo. So all Earth energy in here.
Right on.
yeah, I guess.
That was pretty good. I'm proud of myself.
There must
Not
be
gonna
something
lie.
to that.
I feel like it's Earth energy is very like grounded, like chill energy. Like
She said Virgo first, and then she said Taurus first.
yo, I
for you.
swear to God, I
That's
didn't
fucking
even
weird.
like look your shit up or anything. That's
got
crazy.
she's got some type of energy going on there.
Better start making that manifesting shit.
I'm telling
Feel
you.
that
I
energy and
guess there's
stuff.
something to that.
I'm pretty shook right now still.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, damn, that was cool.
Okay. I appreciate you. We appreciate you coming down and joining us.
Thank you for having
Hopefully
me.
we can have you and Alyssa also
Yeah.
one of these days soon.
We'd love to come together.
Absolutely.
We would love to be on it together.
Anything else you want to say before we sign out?
Nothing else. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a good time.
Right on.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 23rd of November next year or whatever Thanksgiving is going to fall on. You're not going to have any plans, are you?
Probably not.
No, okay.
So let's make the
So
plans
you're
now.
invited. You're invited.
So the plan is you're gonna go
Let's
over
not-
to John's house.
let's-
You know what we
not-
should do? We
you-
should have a rotating podcast that day, since there's probably going to be a shit ton of people. We just have people sit down for 15
Fucking-
seconds and they switch out.
15
Wait, that's
seconds.
such a good idea though.
Everybody just comes
That's
in and sit
awful.
down. Why?
No, not 15
I mean,
seconds,
or
but like maybe
whatever.
like 10 minutes each.
Right, 5 minutes each.
Yeah, 5 minutes, 10
Sit
minutes.
down. How you doing? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah.
Thanksgiving is about eating. How am I going to
You
eat?
can eat
He's
first.
not going to let me eat in here.
You can eat all you want, and then we sit down and have a talk.
Have you seen how much I eat?
I mean, have you seen how much I eat?
I'm not going to want
Taurus.
to.
We're about the same, bro. We have about the same appetite. Fine. I will come next Thanksgiving to your house. I will control my anger now.
All
I'm
right.
so glad we resolved this.
Yeah, me
and we
too.
have a plan.
We have a plan. We have a plan in action. Again, thank you very much for joining us, John. I'll see you next week, and we're gonna sign out. And that's gonna be our show for tonight. Let me not mute myself. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it,